Oi, Gits, let's speedrun this. Went on vacation, super cold, didn't even get to interview anyone, very quiet town. It was pretty, yeah, just an intro to the reaction video. Leave a comment, like the video, smash the like button, subscribe, hit the subscribe button, just fuck them all up. And this video is about basically iDubbbz. Grew up watching iDubbbz a lot. Of course, he's said some horrible things back in the day. But if you're a grown adult, you understand that he was joking and that he now has apologized. And mostly, like, that shit was just edgy jokes that aren't funny anymore. And people shouldn't be saying them. But when I was 16, I thought that shit was hilarious. I'm not going to lie to you. I did. I thought it was hilarious. But now that I'm grown up and I've matured, I don't really, like, find it as comical as I used to. Like, I find it funny for the shock factor. But I don't find it funny for anything else. But, it's just sad watching one of my favorite content creators, a man who literally would shut down, would literally shut down YouTubers for doing horrible things. Like, they would say, oh, you said NF. It's like, yeah, he did say NF, but you're saying it unironically. Like, you're literally saying it to someone as an insult. You know what I mean? Like, and stuff like that. There was a bunch of times where he called people out like Keemstar for just doing absolutely horrible things, and it's just sad to see that he's not that guy that encouraged me to also want to do content like that, or also just make content, you know. Like, he's one of my biggest inspirations, like him, Uberhaxer Nova, fucking like Filthy Frank, like all of those guys, like all of the OG Markiplier, like, but Markiplier, like all of them, I can't even think of anymore. Uberhaxer Nova was definitely my favorite. But anyways, yeah, I mean, that's really it. It's just disappointing seeing this. Like, I mean, you know what you're going to watch. This is sad, man. Yapping for 30 minutes. We didn't even react to any of this.
I was going to say, we've been,
He's like, we're going to watch this, or like, we're just going to talk about fucking racism?
Hey, I was enjoying the conversation. I wasn't about to...
Wait,
well, it's about Ethan. Like, I'm just curious.
No, yeah,
like,
it's funny because it is
what people are thinking about him. Like, because I don't want to listen to all these creators that are like, "F Ethan, he's thinks all babies should die and all women should be raped or whatever." Like, those people are extremists.
Yeah, literally. They don't want.
They're saying crazy shit. That doesn't make sense.
They don't want to look at something for the actual value of what it is. They just want to look at it for.
I do think it is, like, people that heard, oh, Ethan, his wife served in Israel, his wife was born in Israel.
She killed babies.
And they don't learn more from there. And I think that's a big issue with, like, just the world.
I've heard people say some dumb, just heinous crap about her. And I'm just like, that is not true. Like, there's no way. I was like, she sat at a desk the whole time.
You're gonna jump in this fruit, bro.
You gotta start playing this video, brother.
Yeah, I was waiting for you guys to finish.
I'm done.
Is he trying to come back to this, or is this like he's been already doing content?
Actually, he's trying to come back to this. This is an old.
I think his wife wrote this.
It's low key.
Ethan of killing his dog.
If those boxers are the ones I think, those boxers are fucking gas.
Such an insane.
I have some of those. They're really good.
Should I have the video louder than this, or should I keep it the same volume?
That anybody
I'll probably
who says any fucking thing,
okay,
they will attempt to ruin their lives. And once again, I'm the crazy one. It's not bad enough that I have this group of people.
So what's upsetting about this cover?
Here, let's go back.
Holy shit! That sound just took me back to like fucking 7th grade.
It's about to get ruined. The sound's about to get ruined for you.
Oh my god.
Why is it weird? Like, is that his fucking house's electrical box?
Yeah, it is.
Is it?
Bro, he films in like 5 different places.
Well, he used to film in his like little office every single time. Like, that was his like backdrop was his computer room. But just like what this was, Coger, was he used to like Content Cop was. You missed it, Cringy. We had a whole conversation about why H3 is getting flack for low-key no reason. No, he just joined because he said fuck H3. The N-word. No, there's way more than just the N-word that this reminds me of. I'll tell you that, this song. But
Fuck, eh?
yeah, he said, "I'm shocked
What's up?
Cheeto Man hasn't pulled us from the UN." But the thing I wanted to say about this Coger was like when he made Content Cops, like you as a YouTuber were horrified of him doing this to you. Like if he did this
Him
to you,
responding to you.
Content Cops. Like if he did a Content Cop over you, you're cooked. Like you're done. Like that's it. Your career's over. Wrap it up. Fucking just have a whole ceremony over your channel at that
I think
point.
talking about this with you guys is so interesting because I
know.
knew of iDubbbz, but I never watched it. I never watched iDubbbz.
Yeah, well, Fig didn't watch it until I put her on.
I didn't watch it. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
And
I watched it kind of late.
you guys want to hear something kind of wholesome? I found the original NF guy that called him N-word F-word. I found that, and then my friend that passed away, me, her, and her best friend sat up all night watching all of his like Content Cops and his bad unboxings and like all that shit after that video because we thought it was so funny.
That's nice.
It was pretty wholesome. That's why like I can't have this. Yeah, it's nostalgic as fuck. I hope we get like some old iDubbbz in here, bro. Like, can we, like, okay, we are getting a little bit of some, like, nasty faces.
You haven't seen it at all. This is new for you too.
This came out today. Like, everybody's been excited about this. You know what? Like, here. This is the last time I'll pause it. It already has 1 million views, bro.
6 hours ago.
6 hours ago. Yeah, everyone's been reacting. I'm like hoping, like the slightest chance that he's supporting Ethan.
I hope so
I
too.
feel
But
like
he's
he's
not.
not.
He's not. He's not.
I don't know.
Content Cops don't support people.
Then he's done.
He's done. Yes, he's
Then-
cooked, bro. He doesn't actually smoke cigarettes from
See,
what I
he's out in
remember.
the.
What's
This-
up, everybody?
This.
Okay.
This.
Oh my god, it's my king. It's my prince.
I'm over it already. I'm over it already, bro.
Ethan called iDubbbz.
That damn
Or
Turk.
Hassan
That
called
damn Turk.
iDubbbz.
Get this fucking Turk off my screen!
Okay, you said it too, so even if it is,
Okay.
you're going down with me.
No, it don't matter because he says he's white. I'll go all day with Hassan, that little white boy. I'll go all day with him. White boy v white boy. He needs to figure out what race he is, bro. He gonna sit here and not support Kamala openly because of some bullshit. He does the same shit Kamala does.
Oh
that
my
everybody
god,
says.
did he do
They hate
that?
her.
Did he not?
Yep,
I don't like it.
yep.
Was it the fucking imprisonment thing? I hate
No,
that.
it's not that. It's the imprisonment
It wasn't
thing.
the
It's
weed thing?
Palestine. It's fucking.
Oh.
It's all of the single reason voters that voted for Jill Stein. That commie.
All those
disgusting
people
fuck.
fucking.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
I'll
This,
pause it.
that's
Let's keep
that's
going.
where we're
I
at.
don't wanna yell at
Podcast
things,
coming
yeah.
to you live from
definitely will agree
a
on
cloudy
all
day
the
here
hate I
in
have
California,
there.
Los Angeles. We're live and alive, and I hope all the boys, girls, and MBs are having a fantastic one because today's a beautiful day. I have a very important announcement. I've finally done it. I watched Ethan Klein's Content Nuke. And I'm not going to call it
Holy
Content
shit.
Nuke as I normally do because the reality of the matter is it was brilliant. Nothing was out of context.
Wow. I mean, like this could literally be
Okay,
for me
if
and
he
Fig.
started
Does it
with
say
this,
For
if
me
he
and
started
Fig,
with this, iDubbbz might be on Ethan's side.
I have no idea because at this point, me and Fig could make a whole video about this. Just that statement of fucking loan. What is Nolan gonna say to this?
Is this AI?
What is Nolan
I
gonna
do
say to
want
this?
Used to say it.
This is gonna be recorded. This is gonna be recorded and uploaded. Nolan, in the
I
comment
am
section, tell me what you're gonna
excited.
think.
Look at that
It might-
Hassan supporter.
It might be.
Hassan communist.
This might not
96.
be real. I
It's not
am
real.
explosion. AB, call me 42. Yeah,
hold
this
up,
might
hold
not
up,
be
wait,
real.
wait.
It sounds weird.
Is this the?
Everything was correct. I am. an
No, his
Islamist
chat is
fully
saying. Look, no,
liberal-
look. His chat's saying, "What the fuck? Shut the fuck up, so bad."
Well, we're looking at the names.
Yeah, they're banned because they go
Well,
to
and
other.
it's just like
Imagine what Hassan's community actually is.
only liberal 111.
The names are
Angelist,
just so...
radical terrorist. I
He could be
am
also
a
being viewed on it. You
vicious
never know.
anti-Semite. It's true.
Just saying,
Most
man.
importantly,
You were
Ethan
talking
is
about
more
that.
attractive than me, both physically.
Yeah, look at this.
And
This is what we're
also
talking about, bro. He has to say this stupid shit, so he didn't watch it. This is a waste of our time.
mentally. I've been lying about everything, including my glasses. They're fake. He was right about that. That's not even in the Content Nuke, and he was right about that too. How did he know everything? How?
So he's just lying. He didn't watch any of it.
Wake up, Ethan. Wake up, Ethan. Ethan, wake
This is
up.
corny.
Wakey, wakey, Ethan.
Oh,
Wake up,
no.
Ethan. Wake up. Time to be awake, Ethan.
Wake up, Ethan.
Holy fuck.
We're done.
We're so done. We're so
So
done.
I think it's safe to say which
That
which
girl,
side
that
she's
girl
picked.
is that better not be Stardust.
Wake up. Time to be awake, Ethan.
Wake
That's Denims.
That's Denims?
Yes.
I don't.
Oh my. It's all
She's kind of bad. I can't
She's the
lie.
one
They're
that's
bad, but
like
they're dumb,
on them
Coder.
about. She's like her community sent CPS after his kids.
Oh my
Ooh, that's
god.
crazy.
Ethan's
I
kids.
forgot about that.
He doesn't grill him in this like you would expect. Like not as bad as you would expect. Okay, that's what Cringy just said.
This is no longer a dream.
Okay, but-
This is a nightmare. Wake up.
Ethan, the dumb bitch is telling you to wake up.
Yeah, she is bad, but she's dumb as fuck. But the problem is,
Wake up.
I don't even know who that loser is. The problem is
I
like,
don't recognize politics.
oh, that fucking frog bitch,
She
that
has the
frog
second
fucking
time.
bitch, bro.
I was waiting.
That's
You
just-
missed
that's
the
just-
first one.
Is she the one that was said something about the veterans? or is
Yes,
a
that
different one?
all Vietnam vets deserve
Oh.
the Agent Orange shit. And you know what? I think she deserves fucking cancer for how fat that bitch is. I hope that bitch gets
Hey,
fucking cancer, bruh. Jesus fuck.
Wake up.
Wake up.
This is no. I'm sorry, cringe. This is corny. This is really bad for
That's too much.
dude. This
It
is
is
the
pretty
same
funny.
dude.
How
Hold up,
can
hold
he
up.
stand next to these guys?
I could not imagine. I could not imagine after what he's done in the past that he could step by these guys. Coger, this is let me show you one of the best ones of all time.
I know your fucking caps lock's on.
Well, I don't know why it keeps coming on. I think it's WoW on accident because I keep pressing tab. Who's the guy? Fuck, drama alert.
I fucking hate.
He did not delete it. Okay. No, he did. No.
He did. He deleted all of them. I think all of the content code.
So what? He can make this bad one? This is the intro to the other ones, Coger. This is what we're talking about.
Alpha Bravo Niner, this is Wolf Mother. Woods Hand and Wolf Pack. You're
Wolf
gonna want to
Mother?
get down here and see this. In fact, bring a big backup. Yeah, bring in the big gun.
The stutter always killed me. Bring in the backup.
But Brian.
Like, it's so stupid. Like, hold up. What's? I'm just gonna skip it.
Mother, do you come?
Do you come? This was so like funny and stupid.
I'm your host, Killer Keemstar. Let's get right
Like,
To the
he
news.
has a black man title.
Is this when all this stuff with Etika happened?
No.
Is this what that's about?
Did you hear that? It's him making fun of. Listen. It's him making fun of how he used to say the N-word. And then Keemstar is like, I don't say it. And then they just have clips of him. Like, see, this is what we're talking about. Like, this is like the old intros to Content Cop. And he even called it Content Police, if you noticed. Look at this. This is why this sounds so, like, nostalgic for us. I don't even know how long ago this came out because they had to re-upload it.
Wake up, Ethan.
I'm not gonna do a react content yet, chat.
I'm the same. Nobody's telling you to wake up, Ethan.
Ooh, yummy. I love soft rainbows.
Time to wake up, Ethan. Wake up.
Ethan.
Wake up, Ethan.
Wake up.
Wake up, Ethan. Just wake up.
I didn't plan on making a content cop on H3. It sounds very stupid even saying that. H3 content.
Maybe because it's fucking stupid. I don't know. Maybe because it is.
Did he get a hair transplant? Why is his hair look like that?
Ethan's going out of control. And then you should do a content cop on Hassan Piker. Content cop on Sargon of Akkad. If I would imagine this in 2016, I would have been like, oh yeah, if I ever do that, it's gotta be because I lose the plot. Well, it turns out it's not me losing the plot, it's Ethan. He's the one who fucking...
No! You lost the plot! You lost the plot so long ago! Whenever you found Anissa, you lost it. You lost it in that pussy somewhere, bruh. You lost the plot in that pussy somewhere. I have not seen you talk logical since you've been in that pussy, bro. I can't stand him.
My good fucking friends who I stood by after all these fucking years can't find a spine to speak up.
So go fuck yourself.
I agree.
Alright guys, I'm going to tell you a story about Ethan Klein. I know some of you have been following him, but there's a lot of people who might not be familiar with the background, with his podcast, with what's been going on over the past couple of years. So Ethan, as you know, is a content creator who has a podcast where he says all sorts of outrageous stuff. Sometimes it's fun, sometimes it's fucked up. He's had shows with all sorts of different controversial characters. He's had a show with Trisha Paytas. He's had a show with
now
Hassan
she's
Piker.
controversial with
In
them?
doing so, he's gathered a ton of different audiences. Now in his podcast with Hassan, Leftovers, they would mostly talk about surface level progressive shit and make fun of right-wingers.
And you're telling me he didn't flick their dick once at least?
Oh, that's 100 shavers. You trans women. I say, oh no!
And it was mostly that until they actually had to reckon with a very serious topic. I would say that Hassan was very well equipped to talk about that topic.
Palestinian people living in the West Bank are subject to these horrific conditions, horrific living
Hassan's
conditions by
small
the state of Israel.
Hassan hot.
Hassan
Hassan
hot. In the Middle East, if you ask Republicans and even liberals.
Well, the dance he invented was so kick-ass.
Israeli settlers are trying to evict Palestinian families in occupied East Jerusalem. The United Nations says that that may be a war crime. It literally is.
Was just eating the toppings. And the pizza looked like a burn victim.
Hold up, this was also Hassan. Hold up, this was also Hassan. God, I hope I can find this clip. I can't. Where he's saying, like, the IDF didn't bomb... He's like, the IDF did bomb this hospital, and everyone in the chat's like, no, bro, you need to check it. And he's like, yes, they did! I can't find it.
It was all disgusting.
I don't know if you can make that joke in 2021.
Why?
It's insensitive to burn victims.
I think that's a good analogy. It's a powerful image.
Ethan was not prepared for this. Ethan, the whole time, is more of the goof guy. And that's fine, you know, we don't expect Ethan to be an expert on the topic. Ethan was obviously...
Are you also not the goof
situation
guy?
Where
Are you
he
not
is
the N-word
extremely
guy?
sympathetic
Like...
to the Israeli cause and what's happening to
Is
them.
he an expert
His
on this
wife's
topic?
Israeli. She served in the IDF. He obviously likes
You expect
the
him not to
state
be
of
involved
Israel.
when he's
On
a
the
dual
other
citizen?
hand, he's just got done capturing a
doesn't know what's
massive
going on
progressive
over there.
audience who are very politically savvy. They follow Hassan. Hassan is strictly a political streamer. So this is something they're very keyed into. So when they see Ethan say things that are just like not accurate and it's just propaganda, they're gonna call it out.
From the river to the sea essentially means the state of Israel is...
Did you hear that, Coger? Did you hear that? From the river to the sea.
I was-
That's an
I
old
was doing
thing,
some
bro.
research. Well, so that's what I'm saying. After the video, I want to talk to you more
Coin
about
bye-bye.
that. I don't want to go on
So
a
this
whole
massive
tangent right
progressive audience
I'm gonna go on
that
a whole
Ethan
tangent.
has,
I don't wanna
adopted
go on a
over the
whole-
years, they're becoming
back
increasingly
to Tana
critical
Mojo
of
content
his
cop.
position because now
That's what I'm
he's
saying, bro.
talking about it
That's what Crunchy
not
just
on
said.
Leftovers, he's now talking about it on his podcast.
What I want to do is show you
That's
guys
like, that was a
how I
good
see
content
it.
cop,
So
too.
you don't see that when you listen to Hassan and you hear all these
It was a
fucking,
really
like,
good content
like
cop,
mega
actually.
lefties talking about it like it's some super racist, like
You should have brought her
crazy,
back into
you
this
know, like
one.
They
Jim
just
Crow
added
style
cars.
society. Like I can't
I
wait to show you guys.
I just got my
Baby
car.
fired a really good guy that a lot of people are pissed about it.
So Ethan is having this back and forth with his liberal audience, leftist people online, progressive content creators, Hassan, all of these different people. He's finding new people every day, basically, to get in fights with.
Of all people, this guy, Matt Lieb, Frogan and Denims and all these dipshits, and everybody thinks this guy's awesome, apparently.
They said that he's
Even though he
picking a
looks like
fight, bro.
Millhouse
They
dork.
are talking about
Denims,
him.
by the way,
They're
was the
doing
real
it.
villain of the video. Evil, hateful, fucking... And I'll say it, and I'll double down on it. And people... Oh, no?
No,
Did I not go there?
And it's all culminated, at least for
Don't
my
stop.
story, in Ethan burning bridges with people until he burned the bridge with me.
No!
Since Ethan and Hassan's falling out,
Well,
I've
Anissa.
been keeping
Anissa.
to myself
Anissa
mostly.
did that shit, bro.
I don't have many nice things to say. Maybe if Ethan's able to get some help, maybe if he stops harassing other creators, maybe if he does these things, eventually he'll find peace and we can like rekindle our friendship. So that's been my approach. I've occasionally thrown a joke Ethan's way in the form of Hassan Piker versus Ethan Klein for boxing.
I like iDubbbz. He's a good guy, but I don't like this stupid. It's not a fucking petty beef. It's like this guy is evil and he's doing anti-Semitism, and also he's way out of my weight class.
He didn't like that, but fucking sometimes you gotta just throw something out there. I used to work
I just
with
don't have
this
any
video
respect
editor named
for
Froggy Tonic.
Ian
I
after
discovered him
the-
because he was in the circles online.
What was that crazy dude's name? The
I was
racist
in.
one
And one of
that he
those
tried to troll?
circles
Sam
is
Hyde.
an
Yeah,
H3
after
fan.
that, I just don't-
He watched Ethan's content. He liked Ethan's
Like, Sam
content
Hyde
like-
wanted to fight
until he
Hassan,
didn't like
and he didn't
Ethan's
set that up.
content.
Now all of a
There
sudden
would
he
be
wants
an
Hassan to
occasional
fight
Froggy tweet
H3.
where I'd be like, I agree with
And
that,
Hassan's
you
probably
know?
fine with it. Like,
I'm
oh yeah,
not
I'll
gonna
fight him.
endorse
Yeah,
it.
because he's
I'm
a
not gonna
fucking pussy
retweet it
compared
or
to you,
like
bro.
it, but
Hassan
fair
or
enough.
Hassan, like,
I guess
dude,
I just missed.
Ethan compared to Hassan is victim weight, bro. He's getting thrown around, like unironically. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh, friend.
I mean, that's my weight class.
Some
right there.
wings,
Victim
two
weight.
bird, feathered, colored.
Now that brings us to
mine too,
February
Loki.
28th of this year. Now my former editor of a year and a half ago did say some truly mean shit. He called Hila the C word. He said they're trying to kill their dog with cheddar cheese and a bunch of other shit, I'm sure. Ethan, at some point, discovers that iDubbbz's former editor says this horrendous shit about him and Hila. But no one's asking the question, where does
How
Ethan
many
get
editors
this
does this
information?
motherfucker got?
You see, it would be very obviously a problem if Ethan was discovering this content by scrolling through Twitter looking for something to upset himself with. He has maybe set it up in such a way where his employees feel the need to send him this information, and that would be horrible. They shouldn't be doing that. They should be sending you things that are
shocked he
entertaining
didn't
for your
get
show
lied by Sam
that
Hyde.
don't
Nah,
fucking
I'm
trigger the
surprised
hell
also.
out of you. Why is there so
Not
much
gonna lie.
work being put into discovering this guy on Twitter who's barely getting any interaction,
why is Discord blowing up?
linking him to me and posting on the Reddit when there's no work being put into who the fuck is the person on the Reddit who's posting this in the first place? If you do a little
That's
bit
what
of
I'm saying,
research,
bro.
it
I don't know
seems
why
like
my
it's an
Twitch is like
account
this.
whose intention
I
is to
allowed
make
it.
Ethan crash out. One of the users on the Snark Reddit points this out. They're like, I've seen this account before. This account
Like,
has
why
scraped its-
why is he using a Reddit made to shit on H3H3 as evidence for something?
r/H3H3 Productions. Wait, I thought
No,
that was
this
just.
it's an H3H3 snark, which means like the dude
Oh.
was an H3
Oh, yeah,
fan.
yeah.
Yeah, so like the whole purpose of them is to find some shit to get them in trouble or whatever. And I'm just sitting here like, why would you use that?
It's history, and it's now trying to make Ethan burn bridges.
It's like me using
this
a
is within Ethan's
fucking
own community. Like,
pro-Israel
this is the
person
thing
as evidence
that
on
he
why
needs to be
Hassan's wrong.
critical of. It's not me. So yes, I am willing to admit that my former editor was being very nasty, uncharitable, and fucked up towards Ethan and Hila on Twitter. But Ethan and Hila are doing the same shit on their podcast. So I don't want to fucking hear it.
Terrorist supporter.
The CEO of Twitch.
Pedophile.
Now I'm going to watch and respond to the two podcast streams where Ethan and Hila call us spineless cowards.
Video's frozen.
Anyway, this guy was saying shit like that Hila's a Nazi, that she kills kids, that she went on like she's like a IDF baby killer, all this types of shit, and that's showing up right up on us Nisa's and iDubbbz's feed. My good fucking friends who I stood by after all these fucking years can't find a spine to speak up. You know why? Because they'll get murdered.
You don't know what's on my feed. What the fuck is happening? For all you know, I only use the For You tab. For all you know, I only use lists. For all you know, I'm seeing these things tweeted out by
This
my...
is a shit content cop. He has not said a single thing that I've agreed with, bro. Like,
What's what I'm like? Well, Ethan's kind of right because he didn't publicly denounce anything or like help Ethan, but now he's publicly like bagging on Ethan.
But then he says, like, how do you know what comes up on my feed? What if it's my For
You're
You
online.
page? For you, iDubbbz. If he says iDubbbz is a brainless bitch, it's your fucking For You page, dumbass. Like, is he retarded? Like, I don't get this shit, bro. What is he? Where's, dude? Dude, where did his brain go? It had to have been sucked into this pussy, bro. It had to have been.
Editor of a year and a half ago.
Just brain dead.
Saying, God, that is.
Dude, my heroes are dying in front of me, bro.
Throw someone away because they're having a parasocial weird moment. Just like I'm not gonna throw Ethan Klein away because he's having a parasocial weird crash out.
How many women I fucked? Hassan, by the way, thousands. Yeah, that.
Parasocial, like, is he saying parasocial for
That
like
pussy got
H3?
God grip.
Is he talking about like parasocial like in H3, or are you talking like parasocial as in talking to iDubbbz? Because iDubbbz and him are actual friends. That's not parasocial.
That's just so.
Thousands. Let me ask Galio. These shoes do not
He's
go.
pulling
I'm
a.
sorry.
He's obsessed
Oh
with
my
me.
God.
Yeah, he's just
Hassan's the
friends
type of
with
dude who
Hassan now, so
watches
it's all the
himself in
same
the mirror when he
arguments.
has sex.
Watching me on a 30-second delay on your stream.
Wait, that's what I'm. Wait, how does he know I'm watching already?
Because you've been talking about it for the last 5 minutes.
It's not a fucking petty beef. It's like this guy is evil and he's doing anti-Semitism. These shoes do not go. I'm sorry.
There are many people, I'm sure, who have unfollowed you for the things that you've said and done, and I'm sure there are even more people who have stayed following you because they don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. They don't want to throw someone away because they've had some hard moments. We're all fucking human.
My good fucking friends who I stood by after all these fucking years can't find a spine to speak up. You know why? Because they'll get murdered.
And what you're saying to me is that I'm a bad friend and I'm a piece of shit. I'm spineless. I'm cowardly because I am following someone on Twitter.
Because they have mobilized such an insane...
Did he say that?
What?
Did he ever? Did you show me a clip of him saying that?
That might be what the clip is right now.
Harassment group. It's not bad enough that I have this group of people harassing me and everyone in my life. It's that people outside of this group, journalists, creators, are actively participating in this gaslighting to make it seem like I'm fucking crazy.
I mean, I don't know what he's...
Okay.
He didn't say it after.
Okay, so what the fuck is happening here? No, I agree with you. Because I was like, okay, after you said that, I was like, okay, he might actually say it.
I knew you would have felt schizo if you said it after the clip. I just wanted to...
I wouldn't have felt schizo. I would have looked like a dumbass, which is fine. I'm okay with looking like a dumbass if I'm gonna get heated and stuff like this. But it's just like, bro, am I the schizo one or is he the schizo one? Did he where did that come from? Where did that come from?
Said he's gaslit. He's giving gaslit.
Yeah, it's okay. Is a gun being pointed at Ian's head right now? Like, I need to know because this dude just said, he hates us because we follow people on Twitter, and then shows us a clip of H3 saying, all of the people I used to support are gaslighting me. Like, I feel insane.
It's because...
Like, is that not him proving his point? Is that not him proving it?
Publicly saying anything? They're, like, not publicly helping Ethan. That's all he's saying, right?
Yeah, his friends that he,
That's all
like,
Ethan
stood
is
with.
saying.
Because he's mostly talking about, like, Joji isn't going to help him anymore. He's an artist. Like, he's out of that realm.
Yeah,
Max
Ethan
Mofo
kind
and
of
then...
heard about that, too.
Max Mofo, which I would be too, to be honest. But, like, hey,
Yeah.
better life and stuff. But, Max Mofo and them, they're also not in that realm anymore. Like, they're just two drunk Australians on a podcast now. That's all they do. And so, like, the only real friend that could defend him would be iDubbbz. Like, iDubbbz is still in this realm, as proven by making a content cop about him. I don't know.
Getting at here, like,
I might need to make a content deputy or some stupid shit. Like a content sheriff. Like what?
Apologize. That was
put the
actually,
cop
like,
in line, bro.
type of
Who's above a cop?
Was people gaslighting me
just
and
weirdly
taking
sitting
my newfound woke ideology to its extreme.
I've probably done and stood by
A content
iDubbbz and Anissa more than anybody. I've stood by them when all the internet hated them.
I don't like that Ethan brought this up.
Did he not do that also, Finn? Like when they with the NF allegations, like saying that he's actually racist and homophobic for saying it.
Support each other online despite our own personal
Ethan was like, I said it too.
or principles.
Yeah, he literally went up there and was like, I said it too. If I'm
any
racist, he's
friends of
racist.
mine.
If he's
And
racist, I'm
certainly,
racist.
I don't think they're any fucking friends of mine based on the text conversation I had with them too before I even talked about it.
And this proves also, this is why I'm so mad, is because I've watched this clip of H3 talking about the text messages. So why the fuck did Ethan or Ian? Why did Ian even bring up following on Twitter? Why did he even bring that up?
Well,
this
I thought he
this
was
is some
talking about
schizo
somebody
shit.
else.
We don't even
Like
know what
Ethan
he's talking about. This is how
following-
bad this content cop is. Who's he talking about?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm assuming like Hassan and his orbiters.
No, yeah, he's yeah.
All the people
he's
at the beginning of
following them,
this
but that's what I'm
video.
saying. Like, okay, yeah, he's following them, but he's not shown any evidence that that's why H3 hates him.
Yeah.
That's what he said was like,
I don't know.
He doesn't like me anymore because I follow a certain group of people, and then showed us a clip of him
But he's
saying,
assuming that.
yeah, gaslighting him, literally gaslighting him, literally. Then shows a clip of H3 saying, hey, I just feel like all my friends now are gaslighting me to make me feel like I'm the bad guy. Instantly, just like I don't know, bro. This is horrible.
No, I have nothing.
I need to see some.
I don't need any fucking halfway
content
friends,
mayor
man.
is funny.
I thought the text conversation that I had with him was very empathetic. I basically just said, like, I know you and Hila are experiencing a ton of harassment, and I essentially empathize with that, and I think
But he
there's
said, I
something
don't want it.
positive
Until
to
somebody
get
shows
out
me
of the
text messages, I don't
conversation.
believe either
But
of
he
them.
refused to talk on the phone unless I was willing to publicly say something about my former editor and denims. As much as you don't want halfway friends, I also don't want that kind of halfway friend. I don't want someone who's going to give me like an ultimatum
But it's like
to have
neither
a
of them showed us
conversation.
evidence.
Could you not say something when this is like, imagine like one of you guys is like, Hassan actually wants to go to Israel, go to Gaza so he can
This makes
strangle
Ian look so
Israeli
bad.
babies or some shit
Because
like
he
that. I'd
won't
be like,
say anything
imagine me
about
not saying
that,
something.
but he's doing
You're
this.
trying to make a one-to-one comparison where there isn't one. This guy that I follow on Twitter is not in the same relationship as you and one of your current employees who is streaming with you 3 days a week, 3 hours a day for the past 10 years. At one point during the stream, Ethan and Hila bring up Adam McIntyre. Now, Adam does basically the same thing as my former editor. He's critical of Ethan and Hila, and he is sometimes uncharitable and nasty towards them.
Adam McIntyre needs to just like disappear.
He just reacts.
That guy is a piece of shit, like of the lowest order. I never even stood by him when he talked bad about Trisha having a kid and called him like the spawn of Satan. He was supposedly on our side. I would never even co-sign that. I was disgusted by that statement too. I remember when he called her kid the spawn of Satan.
I never said anything.
And
like
I was
that.
supposed to be like cheering on, but I wasn't gonna cheer that on. That's
Why
disgusting.
do you forget that he called her children, which is something we would never do, the spawn of
Never.
Satan.
It's disgusting.
And
a
I
piece
mean,
of shit of a human.
it's just incredible who ends up being the good guys in this story. You know, it's really something.
Unfortunately, they never made a statement. They never said that they disagree with his statements about Trisha's baby until it's useful. Like,
until it's useful.
They're trying not to
that's such
bring
a-
attention to it when she's pregnant, about to have a baby.
what is it?
That was
3
long
years
after she
later?
had that baby.
Like, I mean,
This
you're
is
talking
brain
about
dead.
it
This
like
is
And they have
you're
it
aware
falling
of
out.
at the time, and that there was some amount of pressure or enthusiasm for you to get down with
Ian
that.
just needs to
and
get
what
off the
it
internet,
sounds
bro.
like to me is that you
This is
did
bad.
see it at the time, and you were like, ooh, I don't like that. And you didn't endorse it, and you didn't fuck with it. Huh. It's almost like that is a fucking identical situation to me.
It's just incredible who ends up being the good guys in this story. You know, it's really something.
So yeah, the reason I'm bringing this up is because they're trying to like paint themselves as the good guys, and they're saying like,
That's like
yeah,
what he's trying to
we
do right now.
strongly disavow things that are said, even about our enemies. We are the most immoral people on the internet. Unlike Ian and Anissa, who are fucking keeping to themselves. Also, why the fuck does Olivia get the pass?
What a fucking asshole for putting you in that position, Olivia. You're friends with him. And you don't have to say anything, but like, what a fucking piece of shit. What a bad friend to put you in that position just for some fucking clout. It gets people angry at you, like, oh, how can she be friends with him? Which is total bullshit, okay? Olivia did not do anything. And
I want the pass. Do I have to be an employee
What's
to
he
get
talking
that treatment? Because then you'll just see me as an ally? Or is it because Ethan is afraid of wrongful termination accusations and lawsuits?
And also, I don't mind putting my friend Olivia, who's apparently my real friend, in a terribly weird, fucking uncomfortable situation where you end up getting hate for no reason.
Also, don't frame it as
What's
like
the
other
context?
people
Who are they
making
talking
it
about?
hard on Olivia. You're making it
This-
hard
I don't
on
know.
all of these people.
I actually have no
Please
clue.
acknowledge your role
But I
in
usually
this
have no
whole
clue.
fucking thing. Like, it's crazy how warm Ethan is to Olivia and saying how Olivia is essentially just a victim in this whole thing.
It gets people angry at you, like, oh, how
Also
could she be
talking about
friends with
that
him? Which is
McIntyre
total
guy?
bullshit.
But me and Anissa are spineless. Ethan, your whole system is scrambled. My intention isn't to throw the employees under the bus. Like, you guys serve as the fucking foundation for calling out Ethan's hypocrisy on the whole subject. And I know that you guys have probably pushed back against Ethan over the years. How often are you supposed to do that? Do you have to do that every fucking week? It kind of seems like it. And that's exhausting. I don't want to confront my boss. It's not my fucking job to confront my boss and say, today's segment on rapists and pedophiles on Twitch was not like my favorite segment to be a part of.
Yeah, friends like these.
Oh yeah, and our other good friends.
Yeah.
Anissa and Ian. Thanks, Anissa, for standing up for your girl. I actually stood up for you so many times, cause like, why would I not? It was crazy.
Yeah, why would you not? I mean, if that's truly what you believed and you weren't just gonna use it later.
Of course I was gonna stand by you. That's insane. It's absolutely insane.
So wait, is this not the most disingenuous shit ever? Like, oh, you defended us only so you could use it later. Like, what? How would you know?
No, because y'all are being assholes.
How would you know that they're using it to fuck you over later?
That is a brain dead conclusion to come to.
Like, he's literally sitting there like...
Because they obviously have a problem with them, like...
Yeah, they
insane and disgusting. But now you choose to hang out with people that would have a problem with you if you defended me.
You got me on the TV, crazy.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. It's Anissa hanging out with those, like, Frogan and whoever, Denims or something.
Anissa is half Lebanese and half Irish. For anyone unfamiliar, the Irish have been on the receiving end of a lot of oppression and genocide. On the part of the Lebanese,
fucking kidding?
There's no way. There's no way he just brought that up.
There is no way he's about to bring up and act like Anissa.
White people have been oppressed.
Is she like born in Ireland or?
I don't think so, dude. There's no freaking way.
Maybe
Her dad better be Irish, like thick accent.
Maybe if her dad was born in Ireland and like they're from like Northern Ireland, not like or what is it, Western Ireland?
That's her name, Joe. Yeah. Is it her mother or her? I don't know which one.
Canadian?
Wait, that's the name of the podcast?
No.
Oh.
No. She grew up in Canada. Look, and she was a booby streamer.
Dude, her content back then is so cringe.
And she acts like morally just. Like she's like, I came from, like what? Like where'd you come from, bitch? You had your tits out, bro. She uploaded a video on her YouTube entitled "Leafy and H3H3 Bitch Fight." Hold up. It says she grew up in Alberta, Canada.
I'm looking up her parents.
Her last name is Joma.
Then her dad is probably, so her mom is probably Irish. Or at least I don't think I've ever heard that last name before. Bringing up her being Irish is so...
And acting like she was enslaved or something, or like...
The Irish people have been through some crazy shit, but
they're not dealing with the same systematic shit as black people. But he's acting like they are.
Exactly.
He's acting like they are. Like, what the fuck?
They received a lot of oppression and attacks from the IDF. So Anissa is very well familiar with the propaganda and the shit coming out of...
She's from
Canada. Hasn't Ireland just recently started supporting Palestine? Like, this is a very recent thing, right?
Look that up and tell me if you find that.
Israel. Choosing now, out of all the times, to be like, please defend me. No, we're not gonna fucking defend you.
Rudy was saying that Palestinians are taught at 2 years old to kill Americans.
Do we have that
I
one?
mean,
Like,
just the other day, BB fired a really good guy that a lot of people are pissed about.
He looked mean. I thought he was mean just because he looked mean.
No, it's not.
So yes, you caught us. We're not gonna run to your defense when I don't know, we follow people.
Yeah, Ireland's
we
been
be
supporting
following.
Palestine for
That's
less than a
one
year.
fucked up thing that you can say about Anissa and I is when we're on Twitter, we do be following.
So,
The problem.
okay, if you want to hang out with those people and have no spine and not stand up for another girl that stood up for you, enjoy your new friends.
She's friends with people like Denims.
I know,
Her dad,
yeah,
Which I'll
she's
show.
friends with
Denims
Denim.
is actually participating in this whole child protective service lie.
Yeah,
Which I'll
and if
show you
you're
guys
friends with
today.
them, then you're seeing what they're saying.
You'll notice that Ethan and Hila start talking about this Denims
They follow
character.
Denims because they
Originally,
talk about
the complaint was about
the drama.
my former editor. He's been chatting
What?
shit about Ethan and Hila for the past year
I don't know
at
why he's
least.
brought
They
up
only care about it
following.
now because
Ethan hasn't said
I
anything
guess
about
it
it.
was spoon fed to them via their Reddit.
We actually, like, all of this is Nolan whatever this thing is, because we just looked up Nolan Void because we looked up Anissa's background, and she made a video in 2017 saying Leafy and H3H3 bitch fight, meaning she doesn't like H3H3. She's never liked him. She's never liked him. So, like, all of this is obvious. Like, this is just him proving that he's just up her
clearly
pussy,
looking
bro.
out for them. Now, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. We are friends with Denims, but I would say it's the same level of friendship that we had with Ethan and Hila. It's like kind of an internet friendship. We think that she's a good person, like we think Ethan and Hila are good people. Kind of a tricky situation. How can you possibly think that they're both good people at their core? People can have crash out moments. People can say things that they don't mean. People can say things because they want internet clout and attention. I don't know. I think they're both probably guilty of saying things that they don't mean for internet
Does
clout
he have
and
a
attention.
golden tooth?
Yes.
Yeah, he's.
You just noticed that?
I don't know what the deal is with it.
He's so gay. He's just so gay.
He's
bro.
buying
Right
gold.
now, one's a little bit more fucking nasty.
Coger, if I get to editing this, I'm cutting you off saying that, and I'm having IDub saying that over you instead.
Yeah, thank you.
That's, I
What'd
forgot
he
about,
say?
I said this. He's just so gay, and then Coger goes, "What are you, fucking gay?"
Oh.
To me than the other.
I just don't see how you can be my friend and also be friends with someone like that.
Well, you can't. So I already forgot about you.
Oh wait.
I don't know.
He doesn't have powers to get back in here, so he's cooked. Hold up, by the way.
My bad.
Actually, have
My
a lot
bad.
of
I
friendships
accidentally.
that are kind
you
of
know
that
the
way, where
fucking-
it's like, you know, one of the friends doesn't fuck with
The
the
lock
other
screen for your
friend,
computer button.
but there is someone in the middle
stupid.
who kind of fucks with both of them.
I was like, where'd
But
she go?
separately, yeah, there's a lot of friendships
you
that are
freeze
like
up the
that.
video.
I'm not gonna make you
Try to
guys
fix
like
it.
meet up and kiss or anything. I get it. You guys are in fucking. You're either my best friend who's deep throating me to the base of my cock, or you are Satan.
I'm hoping to
You're
God
the
that's what
Gavino.
Anissa's doing to you, bro.
The last
Because
thing
like
I said
this
to
shit is
Anissa,
crazy.
we were texting before I ever talked about it. She's like, I don't care about this guy. He's a nobody, and you know, blah blah blah. And I said, well, then you'll have no problem publicly denouncing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, the conversation ended.
She never replied.
Ethan, you can't even phrase it in a way that doesn't make you sound like you're being coercive and shitty. Well then, you should have no problem publicly denouncing it, right? Does that sound like a friend? It kind of sounds like something a powerful villain would say.
But it was so funny
Yeah,
how
that's
she
way
immediately
too
went to
much.
comment everywhere, like on our subreddit. She immediately had to comment like, "Oh, he doesn't work with us anymore."
Then
But
I-
that was it. That's
I
all she
then say-
said.
But then say that you don't.
Okay. Do you have
agree.
anything else to say for your friends though?
One of the reasons Anissa was so quick to clarify
I gotta see
things
Papa
in
Bear
your
react to
Reddit
this, bro.
is because your Reddit was already talking about who this editor is, and they were spreading misinformation that it was our co-host on our podcast, Uncle Dane. So yeah, the last thing we wanted is this guy getting pulled into this mess, and you guys don't give a fuck. Would it have been nicer and more supportive to say, we don't agree with the things he's saying and we support Ethan and Hila? Sure. Like, yeah, that would
Don't
have been
bring
a
Uncle
nicer
Dane
thing
into
to
this.
say.
He has
Our
nothing to do with
silence means something. It means that we would like to pause this relationship until you figure your shit out. And then maybe we can find a moment in time, I don't know how long it'll be, but a moment in time in the future where things are a little bit easier to broach. I don't think we need to do it right now, but you've insisted that this is an important thing to address.
So why is he taking also the moral high ground, where he's like, oh, well, I'm willing to be friends with you whenever you want to come to it, but let me make a public against you. Like, literally this entire series.
That's what I was saying.
This entire series is about shitting on someone. And I'm just going to act like, oh, we can still be friends, but here's this series that used to be so catastrophic that people thought their channels were over when they made, a content cop about it.
I would have been perfectly fine with you not blasting me on your Instagram story. I would have been perfectly fine with you not...
But wait, I thought he wasn't on your feed, though. Like, what are you talking about?
Blasting me and my wife on your podcast twice. I would be fine with you not brigading my comment section on my podcast that gets 3,000 views a week because I prefer to not to do.
Do you know why the old content cops were good, Fig? It's because it came from people attacking Ian. It came from people attacking Ian. This is, they said one shitty statement towards him, and now Ian's like, well, I must get involved now.
Dude, it's bigger than that. I feel like it's just because Anissa has this political view.
It's all Anissa.
And she's friends with Denims and Frogan or whoever. And they're just being extreme about Ethan's view. Which isn't
bad.
I don't know. Ethan hasn't said anything crazy about...
Well, all he said is that Israel shouldn't be killing those innocent Palestinian people. But Israel still has a right to exist.
I think they've been
he's in
pretty...
like Coger was saying, a two-state system. Like, they're very big
I think they've been pretty transparent on like what they've fallen for some propaganda and have said some wrong things, but they've come back and said like,
yeah, we're wrong.
Oh, we were wrong.
I think that's why they opened up about his wife being in the military to show like, hey, we were this far in it, but now we did our own research. I think that's why it's brain dead to boil down like Ethan and his wife as just Zionists.
Yeah.
Because they've shown the capacity to learn.
Like, yeah.
They're not sitting here like saying like they don't like Hamas because Hamas is the one doing the violent shit also. But they also don't like the IDF. You see what I'm saying? Like they like the IDF, but they don't like what the IDF is doing. Same thing with like me and the Marines. Like I love the Marines, but I don't like what they did in Vietnam or Iraq.
They're just trying to be like citizens understanding like what's going on.
Like it's the same shit with
but they're
us
also
as
like
Americans.
they living in America, so like how much should they worry about it?
I just don't know why defending, like they're not even defending Israel. They're just saying they love Israel, right? Like
yes, they're
they
both
get so
from
much
there, so
they get so much flack from that. But like me, I can walk around the streets of anywhere and say I'm the most like pure-blooded American, like patriot, blah 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 blah. Meanwhile, my country's done 20 times more than Israel's ever fucking done. You know what I mean? I can go running around literally as my username is Jarhead Devil Dog, and no one's gonna say shit to me. Even those lefties. Those lefties ain't gonna say shit to me. They're gonna sit there and be like, "Oh, you're a bootlicker." They're not gonna bring up all the fucking horrible shit our Marines have done, or all the horrible shit our military has done. They're just gonna call me some bootlicker. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand. Like, it's all an agenda. It's all just some agenda.
Fair, calling someone a bootlicker, it's, to me at least, like, if I'm calling someone a bootlicker, it's like, okay, you still like this X thing in spite of all the bad.
Yeah, but again,
I think you have Jarhead Devil Dog, like, obviously you take pride in it, but it's also kind of ironic in a certain sense, because you understand, like, the evils of the military. But, like, obviously it's not all evil, because the people doing it are just, or the people in the military are just people.
It's just not all, that's why I was mostly
Which is good
saying
and bad to everything. It's
evil.
just everything.
Yeah. Like, that's why I want, like, my name is supposed to be the reminder of, like, all of the good, like, in the military. Because when people talk to me, like, I was raised by a Vietnam veteran grandpa who has severe PTSD. Like, he should be grumpy, he should be a drunk, he should be all this, but he's not. Like, my friends thought he was Santa, you know? And it's like, they're doing all of the shit that they did to my grandpa to Ethan right now because they were just a part of it. You know what I mean? Just because they were like, they're the same way that they're calling Hila a baby killer was the same way that my grandpa was called baby killer in Vietnam. Like, it's all fucked.
Ian's like saying like they shouldn't be saying anything about it, pretty much. Like, he's like, why are you?
Which
I don't know what he expects.
I can agree with that, but like, okay,
but
for example,
but they're citizens there. I don't
like
they
okay,
have
okay.
to, like,
but what we're
they are
saying is
concerned.
no. What I'm saying is Ethan and Hila have to say something because that's their culture or like their that's their home. But I think also IDubbbz is saying that he doesn't want to respond because he's like now on both ends because of Anissa. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, that's why I like the one thing I don't agree with on Ethan's side is that he's trying to force IDubbbz to like be public. That is cringe. I don't like that. But I also don't like how IDubbbz is like openly not like supporting him at all. Like at all.
I think
But
Ethan
then
trying to force out a public statement is a cringe. But I think it's because I think Ethan thought that they were friends, like real friends, and IDubbbz is making the clear stance of like, we are both people that do YouTube.
Oh, my wife doesn't like you, so
we are both like we are online friends.
Well, that's because like Coger's saying that because Ian was saying that, oh, how do we know you did this? So you didn't use it against us later. It's like, what do you mean?
Well, because he also did say verbatim, he's like, oh, we're friends with this people like we were with you, but it's more like a business thing, like an online thing. But
yeah,
he was
and
saying
H3's talking about
verbatim.
how close they were, like actual friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you watch their videos like growing up, you'd assume that they are extremely close. With how
if he's
they...
trying to make this disconnect though, like Ian, like he's like, well, why didn't you? He didn't like being publicly blasted by Ethan, but like, why didn't he just keep it private then? Why didn't he just reach out to him privately every time? Like now it's this.
Well, he did
and
reach
then it's
out,
political.
and then he's saying that H3
it's weird.
only. Well, he's saying that H3 only wanted to talk about it publicly, which is what I don't agree with. But if that's the case, just be the bigger man and tell him to go fuck himself, and just don't say anything. Like let him tweak the fuck out in the corner. Like if I was IDubbbz and I genuinely thought H3 was tweaking.
That's because they publicly came out and helped Anissa.
Yeah.
I think that was the whole deal. What about? I don't know what it was.
It was about the NF stuff. Like, IDubbbz was getting slammed because he used to say crazy shit back in the day. And Anissa didn't ever stop him because they've been dating since 2016. So, like...
I think it was something else. But
there's a bunch of other... It's creator clash, too.
There's a lot of
remember?
things. Yeah. Yeah.
There's a bunch of shit with creator clash. Like, it's all of that. It's all of that. And they defended them through all of it.
It was her OnlyFans stuff, wasn't it?
It's all of it. It's there's like 9 things.
Anyway.
And they defended them through all of it. Every single bit of it.
Instead, talk about Vampire's Kiss.
Like they say something like he doesn't work for me, and I strongly disagree, and I support Ethan and Hila. The problem is
that she doesn't.
That's the problem.
That's the problem.
She actually.
She thinks they have a point.
That's the problem.
Yeah. So go fuck yourself.
I agree.
Go fuck yourself. What about your girl? This is what I'm talking about. This aggression that you're putting out into the world. What the fuck do you think we're gonna do? Do you think I'm gonna fucking sit on my hands when you do this shit? Like, this is nasty. We had such a fair response to what you guys were going through. We don't support
because that happened so
It's a
long
bad
ago.
thing. But it happens, and you're perpetuating it.
You fucking propagandist, lying scumbag, terrorist supporter. He probably sets up a mirror and jerks off watching himself. Dan KKK Clancy has a similar view of Hitler.
Is any of this faced at IDubbbz that he's showing clips of? No. Literally verbatim said Dan Clancy, the dude who runs Twitch. So why is he showing these
Because Dan
clips?
Clancy, the Nazi, fucking anti-Semite.
You can't expect other people to stop harassing you if you continue to harass people. Let's think about it on a micro level. Have you ever been in a comment section and found someone to argue with? It doesn't stop. It can literally go on forever if you don't want to touch grass.
I mean, yeah, this was kind of like a line, what happened today, that should never be crossed, even by like the most cynical, toxic people. It's going to have ramifications in terms of how I conduct myself.
Is he like? Why is he? Is he on some?
He has Tourette's.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, sometimes he gets like overly stressed and he'll start
When
taking
it gets real bad. That
Yeah.
takes you real back. Yeah.
But he's not
Okay, that
like
makes
he doesn't
sense
have
then.
verbal tics. He has physical tics, and
Yeah,
he
he
develops
He'll like
them.
wave his hand around or
And he developed
like
them too.
jut his chin out or
Because
something like that.
when you watch him in the earlier days, he did not have those at all. He developed it from content creating. Like he was so stressed.
I was gonna say I never saw him doing that, so it's just.
If you watch his Vape Nation video, he was like 100 pounds bigger.
I
and
don't remember
not
him
stimming
back
at all.
then.
I
Not
never
stimming, but you know what I mean.
really watched H3, honestly.
No, yeah, I'm
That's
just saying
why I
like
was-
an old video, just like his most popular old video. You could not see it at all. It's kind of just weird.
In terms of these
Like how the brain
fair
works,
weather
how you even
friends who
got
are,
that.
you know, so happy to be friends as long as they're getting something out of it.
Ethan, that is a rich thing to say. Like you're the H3 podcast.
Let me JoJo this really quick. All right, prove him using your friendship for value. All right, Dubs, go ahead. Let's see him not do this.
Okay, there's a lot of friends of the show. There's even more fair weather friends of the show. Let's not get into this shit, okay? That is so bizarre and insulting to suggest that I was only ever being friends with you to get something out of it. No, I'm friendly with you, and I'd say I'm a light friend because it's been pleasant hanging out with you. I've enjoyed your content over the years, and as of late, it's gotten really fucking shitty.
Yeah, so go fuck yourself.
I agree.
Bro, hey. Right back to you, buddy. Right back fucking to you. Items, your content is ass now, bro. I know I'm some YouTuber with like 300 fucking views, but like who? Dude, nobody watches Items anymore.
Who else do we want to burn today?
Who else do we want to burn today? You're making it so fucking obvious that this is your emotional dumping ground. It's horrible. This is not what podcasts are. There was a way to approach this to say like, yeah, we feel hurt by you guys not saying something. You've decided to do the extra thing and attack. Now, in fairness, I am attacking back, but
he finally
I feel
acknowledged
very
it after
insulted,
like what, 30
and
minutes?
I feel defensive, and I feel like I am speaking up for a lot of people who have problems with you, and a lot of people who have been on the receiving end of your harassment.
It's so easy to be anti-racist. Everybody's anti-racist.
Mhm.
Racism is the worst thing in the world, right? We fucking hate racists. Fuck racists.
Microaggressions.
The minute that they actually have to stick their neck out for somebody, the minute they have to actually risk something to put themselves in under scrutiny, to sacrifice something personally to stand up for racism, then all of a sudden it's like, hey, I don't want to get involved.
And that's drama.
How much do you care?
I don't do drama.
How much
Sorry.
do you actually care? Isn't that the whole point? Like,
I realize that Ethan and Hila are more scared now than they've probably ever been. I feel like anti-Semitism is a thought in their heads now more than ever. And
Because it
it's not
exists. Like,
completely unjustified to be thinking about that sometimes. You
I
guys
don't like
are
the
just
language
hurt,
he's using.
and you're kind
I
of
don't
like
either.
dancing around and making very like loose, poorly thought out analogies for something that doesn't even apply to us. It's like me making this video is the standing up for something, and it's saying fuck you. You guys are being bad. You know, I don't think you're bad people, but you're being bad. You're behaving poorly. You're hurting people.
I mean, go back to the civil rights. You think that the people who are like the white kids who are protesting with the black students, you think that they were just like not risking anything? Those kids who are marching with the black students and...
So in Ethan's analogy, he's the black student and I'm the white student, but I'm the white student that's not, you know, marching by his side. I'm not doing the difficult thing. You're gonna have to march on your own, black student.
Marching with the black students and...
I mean, why is it inspiring? Why is it inspiring?
Well, and it's the same thing, to bring it back to the song just because, but it kind of is the same thing. Like, I was thinking about going to Gaza
Yeah.
until I found out it's
I feel
dangerous.
like-
He's a total performative activist that doesn't give a single fuck about the cause.
It's been performed exquisitely. Harassing one person and seamlessly transitioning into harassing another one. If anyone's been watching for the past fucking year, I'm pretty sure they have a good idea of your feelings about Hassan.
Like, people like Anissa are the perfect example because she's friends
Last
with
time
these
I
people.
checked, you hated
She's
Hassan
friends with
too,
Denims.
motherfucker.
Denims is streaming this story about our
I'll
kid
show that, yeah.
getting Giarda from the dog, whatever.
I'm sorry, I'll accept this take, this position from anyone except you guys. You have laid the groundwork for this type of streaming, which is watching people shit and giving your unfiltered reaction to it. Why would you expect Anissa, of all people, to say something to Denims? Okay, so by that logic, we should be saying shit to you guys all the time. But I have a feeling you guys wouldn't like if we said shit like that to you all the time. Yeah, we've been respecting you as independent content creators. You can do what you want. We'll treat you as adults. Maybe we shouldn't have been treating you as adults.
H3
She
is
could
like
say
on top
so
of
much,
everything.
and it would make her a little bit uncomfortable, right? It's not comfortable. She'll get a little bit of shit.
Yeah, just for
But
saying
that would be
which
commendable.
And by the way, it kind of speaks for itself that saying, hey, their house is claimed, or, you know, they're actually good people, like that's going to get you shit. That kind of says it all, doesn't it?
There isn't a single person that I respect who would give a fuck if I publicly said that Ethan and Hila are great with their kids, Ethan and Hila didn't kill their dog, and Ethan and Hila wipe their asses or don't have giardia or whatever the prompt is. No one would care. The only person who would care is me, because I'm like, why did I tweet this out? I'm not tweeting out because I'm not your fucking lapdog. That's why I'm not tweeting it out. I'm not saying it to my audience because I don't give a fuck. It's not my business.
That's, in my opinion, doing something that's
Yes, it
difficult
does.
and standing by your principles. That's the whole point. That's what
I think
makes
a lot
standing
of
by
this
your
boils
principles
down to H3
admirable,
H3
is that
thought that they were like
it's not
pretty good
always
friends.
easy.
Why are you saying
And
that I'm not standing up
iDubbbz
for my
is-
principles when you don't even know what they are?
Saying that they're not.
I get, like,
Yeah.
we're a little bit past directly naming me, so we might have gone off on a tangent. If you maybe accepted the phone call and we talked about it, you could have asked me, hey, what are your principles? And I can tell you the way I've been behaving is exactly in line with my principles. Now we're going to talk about the BDS list. We're going to start off with Frogan because obviously this is like as bad as it gets. If you're following Frogan, that can only mean that you're anti-Ethan. Oh, this is not a good start. Love of the H3 podcast. You are following Frogan, so that means that you are anti-Ethan. Sam, Morg Pie, friend of the show. Olivia, Ian, Daily Dose of Internet is anti-Ethan. Jesus, this is fucked up. Pokimane, comment etiquette. Oh shit, Asmongold's in here.
Did he
Asmongold
still
follows
say anything
Frogan?
about following people?
No.
I've not heard anything of H3 talking about following certain people on the internet. Like, he's just saying shit out of his ass.
I think that's what he's equating it to, is like, I'm not really good friends with these people, I just follow them kind of crap. Like, he's not good friends with anybody.
That
He's
means
like, fuck
you're
everybody.
anti-Ethan. That's fucked up. We're gonna want to avoid these creators at the top of the list. But
How is he
one tier below
How is
them
Asmongold
are the
anti-Ethan?
creators who associate
He's making
with
fun
them.
of him
They're
because that's
essentially
what I'm talking about.
endorsing all of their statements. You got me, you got Anissa, I think Hassan's in there. You'd think that Hassan would be on the top of the BDS list, but that's not the case. Hassan provides additional value for people. Ethan can turn a blind eye to people collaborating with Hassan because that's what he did. You gotta be the lowest of the low to be
Oh, so Ethan's the main
associating
character
with the
now? Or
Frogans
Ian?
and the Denims of
Yeah.
the world. To associate
Like,
with
when
Hassan,
does-
that
when do
just
we
makes
hear
sense because
Ethan
he's
talking about
famous,
Ian?
And he's got a massive fan
We
base.
did.
always Hassan.
Also, Ethan
We,
still
hey,
follows
we did.
It's
It
always
was
Hassan.
one sentence, and that's all
Yeah,
he
one
said about
sentence.
Ian. He said they're like
watched
a
this
piece of
quick
shit. It was
last
one
sentence.
statement. They were a piece of shit because they didn't defend him publicly, which again I don't fully agree with on H3's side. Where it's like, bro, he don't
Yeah,
need to
I mean,
defend you.
But
Like
then
the
it's
fuck?
like, well, they communicated. I think there was communication privately though that triggered them, like pissed them
Yeah,
off.
but they're both not showing it, so I can't go off anything.
I know. Yeah,
They're both just wasting my
but I'm
ass.
assuming that Ian pissed Ethan off.
It's just
It's Hassan on Instagram, so Hassan is in his feed.
And that's showing up right up on us Nisa's and iDubbbz feed.
It's important to remember that this is a living document and people can be removed or put onto it depending on how Ethan's feeling that day. You have this other tier of creators that exist below Hassan but are still anti-Ethan, but Ethan really doesn't want to bring your attention to these ones because it's kind of unpopular, you know? A
That
lot of them are
fucking Theo
famous.
Vaughn.
It's no coincidence
Yeah.
that Ethan stays silent when these powerful, popular men are supporting Hassan. It's because Ethan is a coward. He's a bitch-made coward. I think Ethan has an unreasonable amount of respect for these comedians because they have power, they're quick, and I think he knows that they don't fuck with his ideology. But he's going to keep that to himself because the last thing that he wants to discover is that people that he respects and looks up to, they don't fuck with him.
Bill Burr came on. It was like the worst fucking
He did Trump
show.
and
it was just horrible.
Bernie
That was
Sanders.
like my lowest moment on podcast history. We could talk about Bill Burr ruined my life. Bill Burr made Ethan go on Lexapro. I was prescribed it and it was in my bedside. And then it was the Bill Burr episode that made me finally start.
When Stavros goes on Hassan's stream and he mocks your content nuke,
I actually saw a really interesting video about you, man, and I don't know that I'm even comfortable being here anymore.
Oh no.
It really kind of shed light on you in a way.
Yeah.
You kind of like have leftist politics and stuff like that, and I actually feel betrayed.
Yeah.
And so I'm actually just here to let you know this is the last time I'm ever coming.
you don't fire back because you're coping. So you're just going to tuck your tail between your legs and never mention on your podcast that mentions everything. You're bringing up some fucking connection I have on Twitter. Someone mocks you on a stream, you're not touching it. Fuck you, you're a coward. It's just his job. It's just what he does for his job. You know, he doesn't mean it. We're actually good friends. You know, he makes fun of everyone. It's not just me, right? Oh, also, I can't forget about Matt Lieb. Matt Lieb is in this like middle tier. His valuable association is Rhett and Link. So Rhett and Link, conveniently, are also in this category of popular and powerful men who Ethan does not want to burn bridges with. Although he's sniffing. He's sniffing around.
Just,
this guy Matt
Ethan,
Lieb,
or Ian is being schizo as fuck
this
right
guy
now.
Matt Lieb.
His whole segment is on the basis, this whole joke stands on the base of that Ethan is saying that because I follow these people, I'm a bad guy. That's the whole base of this joke. And we have not
he's like,
once
all these
heard that,
powerful
though.
people have had them on. They've
Their
had
follow
certain
list.
people on their podcast, like
and on their
Hassan or
podcast,
whatever.
yeah, but none of it makes
So,
sense.
I'm not gonna support him.
Because he didn't ever say that.
No, but wouldn't it be fair, even if we can see that, oh, he's not supporting that, like Rhett and Link or Theo Vaughn, because who cares? He doesn't support him because he had so and so on their podcast.
Yeah.
So what? Because he doesn't like him. I don't know. I don't see the
an
point in bringing up all the
producer
bigger
for
guys.
Good Mythical Morning.
Well,
this guy works for Good Mythical Morning, acting like he's wholesome, and he's bringing on somebody that wants to kill my wife, or in a video game. And I think he should be fired, frankly. And I hope he is fired. He's pathetic, and he interviewed a fucking, basically a terrorist.
I think Ethan only respects power right now.
Like
One of
Frankenstein.
the reasons I made this video in the first place is because he thinks I'm weak. He thinks a lot of these other creators that he's gone out of his way to attack, he thinks that they're weak, and he thinks they're a target that he can bully, he can manipulate, he can send lawsuits to. And I want him to know that we're not going to be bullied. You're being a piece of shit, and we're going to call you out.
Oh,
So
Ethan
here's
got
the button.
sued.
You've got
Ian got
a
sued.
video, and you've got an audio. We're hitting both.
He's playing all these clips because he's thinking about when he was in 2016 and all the times he could have used that button. For all the times he could have used that button when he said some shit and it's just up there now on the internet and he's like, fuck. That button would have saved my life. He's just upset, bro. He's upset that he thought of it first.
Yes.
There's no point.
Let's leave.
Yeah, there's no need.
Yeah.
I don't want to. But shit, like, how pathetic are you? Don't worry if you don't have it all now. I'll buy it your way. I don't like pedophile. Like the Eye of Sauron. I see you. Yeah. I see you.
Please
out there,
don't funny,
you fucking
'cause,
cockroach.
With this whole montage, I'm just imagining him paying someone to edit this whole thing. Like going through all of these H3 videos, pulling these little bits out.
The guy who edited this is probably
I don't
a
think
guy
it
named
was
Uncle
that
Dane. He's
big a deal.
he's a TF2
Of
YouTuber.
all the things,
Coger.
it always surprises me what you think crosses the line.
I used to watch
Well,
him
I
growing up.
looked at Olivia and she's like, yes, do it.
Now let's talk about the button.
That
Ethan
dude
got this
definitely
button
just
or
lost a ton
kill
of HP
switch as a
videos.
response to the controversy with Cutie Cinderella. He was not able to control himself in that moment, and instead of figuring out how he can change his
let's
behavior,
bring this one up.
he
What does this have to
spent
do with you again?
$20,000.
Dan and Hila were like, we would kill button that right now.
He
if
just
we
treats
could."
people bad.
I can't change who I am.
Yeah, we're not gonna
I
defend
know.
this.
That's why. That's why the kill button is on its way.
That's it. See, exactly.
He uses
Ethan's
the
on-
button for
or,
everything. If his
Item's on
jokes don't
Crusade.
land, he's hitting the button.
It was being presented as if
It's
this,
pathetic.
the Jordan crying thing.
I hit the button.
Why?
I don't think I needed to, but you guys were giving me crickets, so I panicked.
If he's insecure about getting
Okay, that's
something
kind
wrong,
of
hit
that's
the
kind of
button.
funny though.
Okay.
Like, that's kind of a funny joke. I'd expect Coger to say something like that. Like, hey, I made a joke, nobody laughs, so I just kind of.
I fucking hate when Dozer does that. When I make a joke, and when Dozer makes the same joke, and when y'all start laughing at it.
Oh my god.
I think I laugh at it because he just steals it. I find it
What
funny.
on this parade
It always
could
works,
Ethan have
too, whenever he
responded
drops
to?
it.
Perhaps the country flag that he got wrong? Maybe. I don't know.
If he goes on a problematic tirade, he's hitting the button.
Before, look how sad. But yeah, it's not just that. Like their eyes are like big. I think you guys are wrong on this one. I think you guys are all wrong on this one.
I
don't
gotta
think he's
stand on
unique.
this. He does say fucked up shit, but that's so funny. To just be like, yo, they're kind of.
That's like your. That's like your drunk uncle at the holiday.
You gotta hit the button, bro. You just gotta hit the button.
In hitting the button, I think if all of us had buttons, we'd hit the button all the time. But if you don't have it, you operate differently. You think about what you're saying. You maybe plan for your show a little bit more. You maybe say, I'm not going to have my podcast be an emotional dumping ground for today. You instead say, ooh, it's important that we stay on topic. Also, the H3 community and Ethan himself use the phrase goblin mode all the time to excuse a lot of his shitty behavior or make it seem less bad.
I've been diagnosed with goblin mode, actually.
By claiming that what happens is he just gets into this like uncontrolled state he refers to as goblin
I
mode.
do not call myself
This-
goblin mode.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You did.
Goblin mode? Is that what you're calling Tourette's now?
To all victims of goblin mode, I would like to issue
Don't
an
you call
apology.
Tourette's?
Well, he
You are
got that.
goblin mode today. You're goblin mode. Look how many times you paused this.
I'm
on
trying,
bro.
okay.
And I don't think there's no room for using the term goblin mode. I like the idea that you're defending yourself
Dude.
and the little guy by going goblin mode when a big corporation or a big
I'd just write a
entity
book.
is trying to attack you.
Write
Like,
a
if
book?
you fuck me over, if you
For what?
steal money from
Being
me,
a grade A
if you
bitch?
patronize me,
Yeah.
if you do any of this shit like you're trying to
The
do
first
me,
man to be
like a
sucked
fucking
into a
be-
pussy this hard?
I'm crazy.
Buy my wife, and he's a.
I've gone
My
fucking
wife!
mode over way less.
But you not thinking about what you're saying, not, reflecting on your behavior, not changing your behavior, that's not goblin mode. That's being a child. Let's talk about the crew.
Just don't care
I think
about
the
this,
crew
bro.
has been put in the worst
Literally not.
working
You over this already?
environment that you possibly can be
How
for a
much is
fucking
left?
podcast.
Like
I
another
don't
30
Member
minutes.
Has it
Oh
bad.
my freaking God.
Like, to be around Ethan, period, would be a
Just like at the
nightmare
playground.
right now.
Oh, that,
I'm
that
standing
kid's
by
weird
every
over there. I don't
fucking
like how he acts.
syllable
That's how.
of that. Okay,
Adam's
what she
is
did
fucking
was
weird.
abhorrent. And by the way,
Just don't.
That'll never
Listen,
not
your
be funny.
critique of her is correct. It's just,
That's a good
people are sensitive about women being called that word, and so
like, how pathetic are you?
You know what I mean?
Well,
I'm not assuming his pronouns. And fuck all these people. Go
that
ahead.
guy?
And I'm not yelling at you. I'm just...
Kelly is a black woman, right?
yes.
Maziel is a
Korean.
Oh, Dan, come on. You being such a buzzkill. Yeah, I didn't know Korean. I asked if Koreans are POC. God.
Dan's in the bathroom.
He has some
Let's just
Koreans
not
or
do this
people
right
of
now.
color.
I asked if Korean people are POCs.
The one time the button didn't work and we listened to how he spoke to AB without thinking that the internet was going to hear it. It was rude.
Like,
it was nasty.
is-
and
it
didn't
just
have
feels like
this
Idubbbz is student
caveat of,
sensitive.
like, I'm not mad at you. It was anger and it was uncalled for.
Use they get access to
He's saying that he bullies everybody on the internet.
So awkward and terrible.
But
I'm sorry, I'm not.
Just like this is what I'm talking about when it's always like.
We need to get home for our kids.
It's like, bro.
Oh no, I didn't want to finish it right now. I was just talking about finishing Wednesday.
On Friday. Maybe. Is it?
You guys, like.
All right, I'm taking my hand off.
what's this?
It's when the button didn't work.
What? Okay,
I heard
well,
all that.
Thanks, Button.
And he didn't
They heard
want to
all
take
that.
accountability for it. He
Thanks,
immediately
Button.
wanted to deflect, and he wanted to say that the Button fucked him.
First of all, I appreciate the hard work.
I know
you've
you
done,
do,
and
I
I
know.
loved it, and I really enjoy it. But it's like every time we do it, it's like the show is what it is, and
I know.
it makes it.
I was being selfish.
No, dude, that Button f***ed me, dude. Can you imagine that Button f***ing me over like that?
The Button fucked you? AB fucked you? Who fucked you? You fucked yourself by being an asshole. He makes it seem like he's not a
What'd he say?
tyrant
It was
of
so
a
bad.
boss.
For doing it.
What are you
It's
doing?
so awkward and terrible. I appreciate the hard work.
I know
you've
you
done,
do,
and
I
I
know.
loved it, and I really enjoy it.
Dan, his producer, is constantly clarifying things on the air and making it clear that what Ethan said was a joke. Ethan is being overly defensive, or he's saying things that are like not true and he's exaggerating.
People saw that. They thought that that was what you searched to
I did
pull
not
up that
type
photo. So I'm just clarifying.
Thank you for clarifying. I appreciate you doing that. God forbid.
It's okay because I buttoned it.
Why?
Because
It's not that big of a deal, man.
just
Like,
your
how
inability to.
No. Hold on, Dan. How does it change anything? People knowing that we did it.
It's fun when it's a surprise.
Okay, well,
Well, you just asked how it changed
Surprise
things.
them on your show.
Okay. All right.
You know, I understand that that's his role, and he's, you know, Ethan's made that his job, or Dan's made it his job. Ethan leans on it so heavily. In the same way that he leans on the Button. Ethan is leaning on all of these people to be adults and look after his behavior and give all of this emotional and empathetic energy for Ethan, but Ethan refuses to give it back to them. Also, let's talk about AB and Lena, 2 Lebanese employees, and you just continue to talk about the conflict like they don't exist. It would be nicer, a lot nicer, for you to shut the fuck up about it. You're allowed to do that.
Hezbollah in Syria
we
alone
can't-
killed
We don't know
double
what they
that
think
much.
about it.
All right, I'm gonna move on. I just want to play Hassan talking about bad empanada.
Ethan doesn't want to change, and he wants to bring the entire crew down with him because he's putting them in this position every day, right? But it's more important that he gets this shit off his chest. It's more important that he dumps. We're all familiar with Goblin Mode. Well, Ethan debuted a new mode recently.
And by the way, my ratio is pretty good. Like, I'm looking at like 20 goblin modes to 1 too far. Demon mode, let's call it.
What makes Demon Mode different than Goblin Mode is goblins aren't really like an intimidating, powerful force. If the goblin is persistent, it can get what it wants.
When I'm done with the other one, the big one that's dropping probably next week, my full attention is going to you, George. Like the Eye of Sauron. I see you. I see you out there, you fucking cockroach.
Ethan, the reason the internet got behind you when you were being sued by Matt Haas or when you were being sued by Ryan Kavanaugh is because people saw you as the underdog. They saw you as the guy who's defending the common man.
I'm suing, and I cannot wait for you guys to read it. At the moment, we are writing 3 complaints for 3 people.
You are doing the classic rich asshole thing. You have a deficit of friends, you have a surplus of enemies. You feel really bad, you feel hurt, but you also have a surplus of money. So what can you do? You can use that money to bully and intimidate people. These public legal threats that you're making to fellow creators, these legal threats that you're making to people on Reddit, on Twitter, you're like, I'm hurt. These people are hurting me. What do I do to stop it? There's nothing I can do to stop it. I'm powerless. No, you have a ton of power. You have a ton of options. You have a ton of choice. That's exactly what you get for being filthy rich, is you can do all of these things.
I've never want to sue someone for defamation, but like at what point do you kind of fucking have to? I mean, this is like basically someone calling you a pedophile. Be like, yeah, no, Ethan's a pedophile.
Dan Clancy or whatever, like the CEO of Twitch, and be
Pedophile. Dan KKK Clancy has a similar view of Hitler. Because Dan Clancy, the Nazi, fucking anti-Semite. There are certain things you can accuse people of that rise above to make it like actionable, which is like wrongfully accusing someone of being a pedophile, a sex criminal, a murderer, shit like that. Dan Clancy
Online.
now, in other words, he is a pedophile.
You have so much less to go off of saying that.
Oh no,
anybody
I was
has
talking
that
about
dream.
based on his looks.
His feed on
Just on his
Twitch.
face, on his
Well, at least you're self-aware.
That's 100% a joke. I have no evidence to conclude that he is.
One of the more notable legal threats that Ethan has sent out recently is against Noah Sampson.
I have nothing but vibes to gain, and potentially your money as well. Don't worry if you don't have it all now. I'll garnish your wages. You're going to be living with your parents for a lot longer, buddy. 26, you know what I mean? Try 46.
Noah made a video that was critical of Ethan and other content creators when they're talking about Israel and Palestine. I mean, the way he's talking about Noah on his podcast is so fucking creepy and weird.
Is this a new thing?
This is a new thing. This happened during the show. Upon initial examination, it seems to check out, and it's not great for young Noah.
Can I say that? Don't say it yet.
I'll say it.
So he's a rape. So of course his standard. I don't know what he's accused of, so I'm not actually going to say. But
Ethan brought on a former partner of Noah to basically just shit talk him and say that he's a bad partner. But that's all that Ethan was able to extract out of it.
you are not accusing him of committing any crimes or doing R-word or anything like that. The accusation is that he's a sleaze.
Absolutely. Noah
Yeah.
Sampson, as far as I know, is not a rapist.
Fuck you to Noah Sampson, who's not just a liar and a scumbag, but also a creep, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Now let's talk about the left-leaning Democrat.
He presents himself as someone like me, a left-leaning Democrat who supports basic things.
The thing that made me start to question Ethan's intentions is that when he was suggested to talk to
Someone
Sam
play them.
Cedar, a fellow progressive, a guy that Ethan respects and looks up to,
He works for with Sam Cedar at the Majority Report. I respect him and what they do there.
he kept saying that it was racist or anti-Semitic to suggest that he talked to someone who's within the same ethnic group as him.
That's why I said yesterday, like, I urge Ethan to talk to Sam Cedar. There are very thoughtful, very kind anti-Zionist Jews out there that he could talk to. I don't think that I will be able to reach him.
What's the insinuation that I only listen to other Jewish people? You need to talk to my pre-approved
that's a
list
pretty
of
good
Jews
assumption, to be
that
honest.
like agree with me on everything.
From a statement
it
like
doesn't
that,
matter if
I don't know
they're
how else
Jewish,
I'd
dude.
take it.
Doesn't matter if they're fucking Jewish.
I think most Jews.
I don't think Jews
this
at
is
large
great.
view it. I don't think that that is the...
What, in what position are you to even say that?
It's not
speak for my
motivated by
entire
myself.
ethnic
It's
group.
motivated
That's
by
crazy to me.
Jews against anti-Zionist
No,
Jews.
seriously, how can you speak for my entire ethnic group? I find that really interesting.
Ethan, I don't know what to fucking tell you. This is like step one of having a leftist ideology, is recognizing our race, religion, nationality, all this shit, all shape our experiences as people.
That's the reason why it'd be better served to have this conversation not with myself, but with an anti-Zionist Jewish person.
Why does it matter if they're Jewish?
Because I'm not Jewish, and you've said in this conversation that, like, how can you tell me how to feel about the situation?
Yeah, but how is one person a representative of Jews at large? I'm just telling you how Jewish people around the world interpret that phrase.
So yes, Ethan,
Oh,
on
that is a
occasion
pretty
you
good
might be
clip.
suggested to talk to someone who has some crossover
This is
with
the
you.
first vet.
It doesn't have to be your ethnicity.
Against
It could
H3.
possibly
I think this is the
be
first
someone
thing
who
that they're
shares
like, okay, this is
progressive
kinda
ideology
stupid.
with you. It could possibly be someone who
But it's
is
not
of your
really,
same
because like
gender.
again, like if you just change the race, like let's say we were talking about black issues, and I was like, well, I'll bring a black person in to talk to you about it, so you can like maybe get a grip on it.
Yeah, I think that alone is a little crazy, but I think with the like, if I'm the black person and I'm like, well, I'm black and you're not black, so you don't really understand it. Like, oh, you're not black, you're gonna tell me how to feel. So I think naturally from there,
Yeah,
okay,
but again, you gotta think
I
about
can't tell you how
what-
to feel, but then I'll get someone who
You gotta
agrees with
think
me that
about
is
how
black, so we can have a more
or-
productive conversation.
You gotta think about what
Obviously, I don't
Hassan's
think
saying,
Hassan
though.
meant it in a nice way, but
No, I'm saying you got to think about what Hassan is saying behind that. Like all H3 is saying that Israel has a right to exist, and Hassan is like, well, they're doing horrible things, so I don't think they should exist anymore. And that's like where he's like, I'm not gonna change my stance on it because they are doing horrible things, but
okay. So with that, we agree. I'm just saying with the simple thing of like, okay, I can't come like me. And
Yeah,
you
I
can't
agree
come
with
to
that
conclusion
sentence,
because
yes.
I'm not Jewish.
So then I will give you
So
someone who can
naturally,
come
getting
to
someone
that.
that agrees with me that is Jewish, I think would be like the natural.
If you
next
brought
step.
like the black conversation we just said, that's like trying to convince someone that slavery is okay, and the black person's like, listen, obviously there are reasons why getting rid of slavery will fuck the economy, but these people have rights, And he's like, well, okay, I'll just get a black person to come in to explain it to you. It's like, what the fuck do you mean? Like, it's like when me and Fig and Preston were arguing about something, and I was calling Preston like a brainlet, and then he was like, well, I'll come to you next week about it, and we'll talk about it. And I was like, no, Preston, my answer is gonna be the fucking same. Like, it'll be more calm. How about that? My answer will be more calm, but I'll still call you a fucking idiot. Like, that's just how it is. Like,
understands this concept very
like, yeah,
well.
Ethan.
He listened to
Ethan
these
looks like an
women-
idiot there too, because he was just like, what is that dude? The spokesperson for Jewish people? He's like, that's just how Jewish people will feel, dude. You literally just said like you're an idiot.
Yeah, I don't think this entire thing is valid because of this, but that's sort of, I mean, like, that's the only thing that's like.
Yeah, well, again, it's, even if you talk about it, they're both just wrong.
I don't know if you.
We're not even defending. Our whole point is that we're not defending that H3 is a good person. We're not defending that at all. The whole point of this is that we're defending that H3's point with the Israel-Palestine debate is that he thinks that Israel is doing horrible things, but Israel has the right to exist. That's all he's saying. Like, they're doing war crimes and everything. And all of the other people going against him think he's some Zionist person who, like, you've seen the clips. You see how they talk about him. Yeah, I mean, like, so that's the only thing I stand on. No, Ethan's been a little degenerate dumbass for a while. But, and this is the only time, to be honest with you, this is the only time I've defended him, to be honest with you.
You're a bitch, though.
She is a bitch. She's a fucking bitch. You're right. I call her. See you next Tuesday.
Listen, you have.
I'm curious what do Lena and Sam think about it.
I wouldn't be okay with that.
Yeah.
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 I feel like that it's for the girlies, Ethan. But I
So
agree.
you guys all seem to be in consensus that it's in poor form. I think to respect the women here in the room, I'm gonna have to pass on saying that.
The infantilization of Ethan Klein is fucking nauseating. He's not a child. He is absolutely capable of
Yes, he
looking
brought up
into
his
Hassan,
girlfriend being Irish out of
learning about
nowhere.
his politics,
Did we forget about that?
interviewing, doing loads of things to figure out where he stands.
He presents himself as someone like me, a left-leaning Democrat who supports basic things. And for the first time, I noticed an inordinate amount of radical, hardcore left. I mean, I thought we were social Democrats, not whatever this was. This comment from Hassan really started to sound some alarms in my head. I was already getting uncomfortable with our partnership. I started to wonder if I had any idea who this guy actually is.
You made how many episodes?
To be honest, I
with
hate both of
Hassan?
these people,
like, this
but
guy made a
I mean, one
fucking
person's saying
program
something
with the
correct and
biggest
the other
mega
person's saying
leftist
something
on the
extreme.
platform. Now he's
Yeah.
acting like he was tricked and he was incapable of figuring out what this guy's beliefs were.
Because the other
Bro, I
side of
didn't make the
Hassan is
fucking
Asmongold
leftist
saying,
program.
like,
you did.
these people
You
low-key
made
deserve
fucking,
it.
what, 60 some odd episodes
And
of
then,
this
like
shit
I
for
said, there's
hours
H3
talking
who
to
literally
this
goes
guy?
there.
You didn't have a problem with any of it until
No, that's what I'm saying. He's
Ethan
saying
talks
that
about
the
being
Palestinian
aware
people
of
deserve
Hassan's
it.
9/11 comments, and then sort of leaves it at that. Like it was
That's
just
the
a
opposite
joke.
of
Actually, I think
Hassan.
Ethan describes them as
Oh,
edgy
okay.
moments or
Because
jokes.
H3's in the middle
You might
of it because
remember
he's
him
lived
from
there.
such
He
classics
knows that they
as
do horrible
America
things.
deserved
He's the far right.
Fuck
And
it,
when
I'm
H3's
saying it.
middle,
Now, to be
and
clear,
then-
I knew about all
He's
these
in the middle because
these
he like
controversial
he
jokes
lived
at the
there,
time we
so
made
he
the show
doesn't like
together.
want to shit
Because
like it's
who
just like
am I?
America, like I brought up.
No,
we do
Ethan,
horrible
those
things, but you don't
aren't
want to say
jokes,
like fuck the troops
right?
because
When
the troops are your
someone
cousin.
makes a controversial statement
Yeah.
like that, that's not them trying to be funny. I can understand why you would conflate the two.
It's a hard
That
situation
is
to be in,
someone who
man.
is extremely frustrated and passionate about a particular topic. In this case, American imperialism and terrorism. You could have looked into that. You could have talked to Hassan a little bit more and found out what his international politics.
Meanwhile, Hassan said it was okay for all those Chinese people to die near Russia because quote unquote Russia owned that land or some shit. I forgot if it was like Chinese. I can't ever remember it, but like there's a whole thing that he defends over communism because it's like, oh, they quote unquote own that land. But that's the same excuse Russia uses for Ukraine. Like it's the exact same excuse that they use to invade Ukraine. So I just don't, I don't know. I can't ever defend
Opinions
Hassan.
are, but you wouldn't even need to do that. You can look at it online. You're not
Like,
a victim.
I
you
know
weren't
bringing up
tricked.
imperialism
You
is
made
just funny to me
60 some
because
odd
Hassan also
episodes.
defends
If you
imperialism in
didn't
certain
want to go
areas,
down this
depending
route,
on if it's
you shouldn't
communistic
have
or
done
not.
it. But that was your fucking choice. You did it. You are an adult. When Ethan and Hila are watching Matt Lieb saying that one state doesn't represent all Jews, they cannot wrap their heads around the idea.
No single person represents all Jews.
I'm just telling you how Jewish people around the world interpret that phrase.
No single person represents all Jews, as no single state represents all Jews.
This is another weird thing.
Oh my
Israel
God.
Israel. This is a lie that I see Hassan and people pander. They say that Israel's going to war on behalf of Judaism. They have never. I don't believe that that's ever been stated, and I don't think Israel
It's
ever.
not, but why have they been
explains that
fighting
it's,
for so long?
Like,
Well, like,
I
why do
think
they
Israel
want this
has
one
says it's a
specific
place
land?
where Jews can go.
Like,
Israel's
of all the
just a place
lands
Jews can
that
go.
you want to take,
With
is
that
this
slogan,
one,
we
but it's
might
not
actually
a
have
religious
peace.
thing?
You know, if that's all you're defining Israel as, is a place Jews can go, like, sure, it sounds like America to me. Like, all right.
I don't think that Israel said they represent all Jews. I don't think that's a stance. We're like, hey, displacing Palestinians is all Jewish people.
Ethan is being so disingenuous here to suggest that he doesn't understand
I
what
think my
Matt
only
Leib is
thing is,
saying. Like,
all
it's
these
a,
clips
he's
of
making a
H3,
semantic
I don't know how
argument.
old they
Like,
are.
I don't think Israel
Because of how
has said
disingenuous
that it
all these people have gone.
every last Jew on the
I don't know if he's
planet.
already talked about it.
I
He's
don't
like,
think
damn.
Israel has claimed
Guys,
that.
that's a good point.
They're
Other
not
people
gonna
that
say that their
responded.
most
I don't know if he's just
genocidal behavior
beating a
represents
dead
anything
horse.
to do with them. Okay,
Israel's
but what
pretty
they are
recent, I
going
think.
to do is they're going to
some of
inexplicably
them are,
link
and some of them
Israel
are.
and Jewishness together.
You can tell
so
by all the
when
scene
they're being
backgrounds. Like some of them,
criticized, all
they aren't fake
I
because
was
some
like,
of them
I
are
don't
clips
watch
of him and
any
Trisha, and some of them are from him and Trisha, and some of them are from when Hassan was on his stream, and some of them were like just recently when he had the button.
Well,
Yeah,
the
I mean,
song
like
wasn't that long ago.
it was before this
A year
Fallout.
ago.
This Fallout was not happening
Right
when they were doing
right
this.
when the war started.
No, this
Or the
all
Palestine-Israel thing.
This all started like a couple months. They were all quiet about it forever until they started just like it was just quiet about it. Like they split shows and then they started like shit talking each other after a couple months. Well, I don't know.
All of a sudden, they have the perfect defense. Oh, another thing I need to mention. There was a tier list. It was called the Who Can Say Habibi tier list.
Oh, man.
It was presented at TwitchCon as
Justify
like a
this.
panel that was just meant to
Yeah, I
be
can't wait for
lighthearted
this
and
to
fun.
Justified.
And Ethan Klein saw that, and he decided that it was anti-Semitic.
Tier list them, and we're gonna need your help to
Coger,
discuss
tell me
and
how you
figure
don't
out
find
who
this
can
What
say
else is it?
Habibi and who can't.
And also, like, we have tiers. We have Arab coded. They ask permission to say Habibi. You know, like you got like a white guys like, can I say it? Is it slurs? And then Love Sabra, which is they're not Arab coded at all.
Now, when I first saw this tier list, I immediately knew what it was doing. I was like, oh, it's a.
By the way, Coger, I don't think he's gonna actually play this clip because, and if he does, hats off. If he doesn't, iDubbbz. Ah, fucking.
I think it's a little silly that they're talking about Habibi because Habibi. I just looked it up. It just means my love.
Yeah, they don't know. They don't know what the fuck.
It's just
They're
Arabic.
stupid. They're
Like,
stupid. They're
It's
stupid.
like saying is saying mi amor like is that racist against Mexican people? Or
Yes,
Spanish
it is
people?
actually. Yeah, no, it is. It is obviously by this standard. But yeah, like, in one point they say, well, we would put IDF lover, but we can't do that. They verbatim say that. Like, but I guarantee you he will not put that clip in there.
Play on the who has the N-word pass and who doesn't tier list. Granted, Habibi is very different than the N-word, but it is a cultural word amongst Arabic-speaking people and
That means what,
Muslim
iDubbbz?
people. Like
That means what?
That is a word that's used. Habibi. It means my love. Oh
There we
no,
go.
don't do that, Habibi. Oh yes, Habibi. You're my Habibi.
So why would they?
I'm your
So
Habibi.
okay. Why would they have a tier list of people who are allowed to say that and who aren't allowed to say that? Am I tripping here?
It's a little silly.
No, like it's brain dead, low key, because like
He is brain dead.
This is.
I think my first instinct is like, okay, mi amor. Like that's such a popular
can
like.
express their Arab culture and be proud of it.
Or
and
they're
happy
they're
about
saying
it,
that's a
because
slur,
it's
so
not
we
like
couldn't put that
they
on there,
have
so we put
massive
Sabra instead.
representation on the platform.
Yeah, they said
Making a
that they
tier
couldn't
list
put the
based on
IDF thing, so
race,
they put that.
and nobody has a fucking problem with that. Okay, you have a tier list based on race. Where's the Jewish panel? Where's the Jewish panel? Where at the top it says Jewish. It's a tier list based on Arab to Jew. He's Arab, which is good. That's the best thing you can be on this. That's the best. This is this is racist.
I will say that conveying information through a tier list is not the most effective thing, but Ethan should understand this principle. He did
If
a
he
white
moves from this
slurs
tier
tier
list, I'm
list
looking-
with
I'm gonna show
Hassan.
you.
Cracker.
I mean, you know what my take is.
We can't put this as an F. Cracker. I mean, that's got to be at least a D, right?
Pale face motherfucker.
Pale face. I mean, again, I think that's an F. Hog.
So Hog is my favorite.
I use it all the time.
Him and Hassan feel as though they're white guys, so they felt very comfortable talking about white slurs on their tier list.
I think I'm more white than you. What do you think?
I think I'm white. Like, I'm super white.
Can you understand?
Holy fuck! Holy fuck! Idubbbz just... Oh my god. Idubbbz doesn't even realize it, but he just slammed the fuck out of Hassan. Because, hey,
super white.
Hey, Coger, because let's be for real, what does a white boy know about Palestine? Can I be for fucking real? Like...
For real.
Is that what he said?
No, it's just the fact that he acts like he's Turkish, so he'll go like, oh, I'm Middle Eastern, but then like in some instances he'll go, oh, I'm white. Like he's flip-flopping.
Dan,
so he
why
can say the
Arabs
slur.
might feel comfortable talking about
You
Arab
can say
shit
Habibi.
on their tier list.
So
So
they
you
didn't
can say
show the
white
tier
slur.
list clip. Hold up. Wasn't it TwitchCon?
I see your gooner ass fucking shorts.
The shorts are retarded, bro. Like I got like two 40K ones, and then they're all like AI or Gooner. Like, look, I get more Gooner in here. Like I don't even get it. Here.
The next person is one of my favorite people, Ethan Klein.
I told you guys to clap.
This is a good reaction.
That was a good one. That's good.
Like
All
Hassan
right.
and
Turn
Arrow.
that up. Turn giraffes.
Yeah, Hassan and
After
Arrow.
we just watched him
Yeah.
say I'm a white boy, that's
I'm
kind of
white.
funny.
They said we'll claim him.
Like, what you guys had to say.
Dude, where's the? You guys are missing a category for Zion.
Look, do you hear that?
Well, so I think that's why they did Sabra. Do you know what Sabra is?
No, that's what I'm saying. Like,
I'm pretty sure Sabra, unless I'm
They're talking
mistaken,
about-
it's the Israeli superhero. It's
They're
a Marvel.
saying-
It's SABRA.
Oh, A.
It's just an Israeli Marvel superhero.
What the fuck?
Superhero.
They're saying that it has to do with hummus. Like they like Jewish people have bad hummus or something.
Oh my god. It's even worse, Coger.
Oh, what? So they just named the character after that definition? A Jewish person? Just look up Sabra. Just add character to that. That's why. That's what my. Yeah, Marvel.
Well, I mean, dude, she's wearing a fucking like. Come
yeah,
on.
she's just an Israeli superhero. That's all. I was like, that was my first instinct. Like, oh, it's just.
No, it's literally a person,
Jewish
born,
person,
like literally
yeah.
Arab, and then a person born in Israel. That's what this list is.
Yeah, that's a little silly.
That's not even silly, bro. That's just like that's just
What were they
anti-Semitic.
saying?
That's what they're talking about.
Was there's something about hummus?
They talk about hummus and like how much they love it or whatever the fuck.
That was a joke. That was just a joke.
They were talking about like the
in
quality
my-
of it or something.
Stand up.
No.
Well, obviously it's Love Sabra, right?
Yeah, it has to be.
That's easy. That's
Definitely Love Sabra. All right, so there he
Are we
goes.
being messy?
Yes.
You put him as number.
I think
yeah.
that's why I
I'm
thought
so
it was the
scared.
character because it's love Sabra, like loves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
List, Ethan, you're the white guy. You think you're more white than Hassan.
I think I'm more white than you.
So yeah, the white guy can say all the things that he wants, like cracker. But the Arabs can't have their tier list.
I would put him also in Arab. I know Turkey.
Well, the Arab tier list is
They're not
Arab
talking
is
about
good,
people.
and if you love Israel people, you're bad. Like that's what the tier list is.
Yeah, they're not
Well, I
talking
think
about.
it's,
Notice
I
how
think
they
it's
dropped
just
the-
stupid because it's in reference to saying Habibi, which means my love. So I guess like in the way that okay, if you're more Arab, then yes, saying it like it's just stupid to say. Okay, is this okay? Thinks it's
Yeah.
a slur.
This
It's
whole thing is just.
Premise almost
You
immediately.
can tell
just
they're
hits
cringe
silly.
because of
I
the
don't
way.
think it's that serious.
You
though.
can tell they're cringe by the way it is because that dude started laughing at a joke and was like rocking in his chair, like insecure. Like they're all like socially
I think it's
awkward, bro.
cringe. I don't
You can say
think it's
Habibi,
like.
and then it's like Hassan. Okay, actually, he's Arab. We fucking love him. He's dope. He's Arab.
Habibi is an Arabic word. That is an Arabic word, Ethan.
Funny about this whole thing is that they say Habibi in Israel. Again, people underestimate just how like mixed Israeli culture is. Like,
We say Habibi in Israel. Yes, Ethan. Another piece of evidence as to why it isn't anti-Semitic.
This is racist.
If you're not Arab or understand
Why are we
Arab
talking about
culture
that
at all,
word?
which is a
They
lot
said
of Americans,
that's
and
not
Ethan
what's on the
Klein
tier list.
presents
Yeah,
you this
they're
tier list
dodging
and
it.
calls it anti-Semitic, you're just gonna eat it up. It's not. Ethan is just proving his location on this tier list under Love Sabra because he doesn't understand Arab culture. There's a lot of Arabs who eat Sabra.
So Sabra's the
hummus.
hummus brand.
Okay.
And,
So
and Arab people are like, that hummus is trash.
because of what? Because Sabra means.
Because it's bad. It's just bad hummus.
Is
And we
it-
make it
Because
better.
But
I'm
no,
pretty
but
sure
it's called
hummus-
Sabra, and we looked up what Sabra means. So is it not made in Israel?
Yeah. Well, I think
I don't
it's
know.
made, or like the creator of the company is
Was in
Israeli,
Israel.
I'm pretty
So
sure.
that's why Palestinians don't like it, or Arab people don't like it. It's because it's Israeli.
People have just talked about it being really bad,
Okay,
like
what is the-
comparatively though.
Then what are they saying?
They're saying a bunch
Like,
of
I
nothing.
don't know.
There's a lot of people.
They're
I
hinting.
just think it's
They're
because
hinting
they-
at that he's just
I
a
don't
Jewish
think-
lover, like an
I don't-
Israeli lover or some shit.
I don't think
And
it's
so
that
what?
serious. That's the thing. They just don't think like Israeli people are Arab like other Arab countries are.
Okay, well, why do they have to
No,
make a
no,
whole
no,
tier
no,
list
no,
on
no,
it, make
no.
a big deal?
No. If
Well,
that
so
was
it's
the
just
case,
about
if
whether
that was
they
the
could
case,
say
Coger, you're
Habibi.
telling me. Let me just say this, Coger. Let me tell you
Well,
this.
I
Isn't
don't
it
understand.
ironic that the war is going on right now, where literally two of these races that they're talking about are going against each other, and a multiple
Yeah,
of
that's
these
when they brought this
YouTubers,
up.
and multiple YouTubers that are on that panel. One of them, Coger, as Frogan, openly saying Vietnam vets deserve Agent Orange for what they've done. And you think that they're just putting that up there because they're like, Jewish?
Well, okay, so they probably have an ulterior motive.
That's
but
what we're saying. Like,
at
it's
that
obvious.
Point, so, but we would be guessing at the alter. That's why I'm just trying to say, like, okay, we're talking about whether they could say the word fucking Habibi.
Which
well,
is
why?
brain
It's
dead.
stupid already. It's already stupid.
Yeah.
And their whole list, it's not about whether Arab people are better and Jewish people are worse. It's just about, like, with reference to, can you say Habibi in the tier list? It's just, okay, how Arab are you? Okay, Israel is in the Middle
No,
East,
I
but
get
they're
that.
not real
But
Arab.
why is
That's-
Arab green?
that's
Why
my
is Arab
conclusion.
green and Jewish
Because,
red?
well,
Why would
so
it be
because
white person?
Habibi is Arabic. Well, so that's
Yeah, but
where-
Arabs are in
We're looking
Israel.
at the Middle East. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
they
but-
see the whole point is they see Israel as less valid of a Middle Eastern country.
Okay, that's cool,
Like-
but like, why are they? Okay, why
At
are
least
they
that's the
talking about the Middle
conclusion
East?
I'm coming to.
No, that's fine. But let me keep asking you questions, which will break that conclusion, because you're
Uh-huh.
valid to think that way, because it's all smart. Like, I get where you're coming from. What I'm saying is like, why would they have it? Like, why are they talking about the Middle East in a U.S. Twitch panel for TwitchCon?
They made their whole careers about being Arab.
No,
That's
by
why I feel like-
politics, just about politics.
Oh, politics, but also being Arab and how that, like, the conjunction of the two.
That's just
that's
gay.
why.
That's just gay.
That's
Like, the
why a
fact that
lot
you
of
have to
these
be about
Twitch.
Arabic,
Well,
it's just-
I don't think it's like. I think it's a little stupid.
No,
but,
yeah.
Like, that's why they're constantly talking. Like Hassan, that's why he flip flops between being super white or super Arab.
But then they're just
Because
saying
he's
Israeli people are
very-
bad. Because it's the tier list, like they're on the bottom of the tier list.
I think.
Because it is saying they're
Just
less
it-
Arabic, but like I know what Coger's saying is that they're saying
At
one
least
is
that's
more
my-
valid.
I don't want to say that
one's
you guys
more
are
valid.
wrong.
No,
That's
we're not
just how
saying.
I'm-
No, that Coger, you're right
Yeah.
because that's what they're using it as a cover up to be anti-Semitic. Does that make sense?
I think if
like
they
if you
were
question
ranking
them, they're
other
gonna say
things,
that.
yeah.
They're gonna say that. They're gonna be like, no, it's just that Israeli people aren't as Middle Eastern as the others. Okay, why are we even bringing this up during a war?
Dog whistling.
That's what it is. It's dog whistling. But like since it's left leaning, it's harder to notice because the left is known for calling out dog whistling. But this is what Ethan's standing up for, and I agree with him. The left has a lot of anti-Semitism in it right now because of what Israel's doing. Like Israel
Yeah.
is horrible, but a lot of people just hate Jewish people now because they're Israeli. That's what's happening with Ethan right now, and that's why I feel bad for him because like with all of the other fucked up shit we could be calling Ethan out for, we're calling him out for some shit that he doesn't even say. Like, he doesn't even say that he supports Israel. He doesn't. That's why I'm, like, just confused about.
It's pretty much just who he
I agree.
is. Like, it's just
so
because he's
hard
Jewish.
to, like, it's so hard to talk about this, but also still like be fair because
no, you
Israel
can be...
does market itself. Well, Israel does market itself as like the Jewish person homeland.
No, yeah,
and,
it
like,
is.
A lot of Jewish people grow up like, okay, Israel is like the most moral place, and when they grow up like supporting Israel, so it's like.
Well, again, we thought
I
that
think that's
too.
why
You
you're
gotta be
seeing
open
it a
more.
lot.
You gotta be more open-minded.
Yeah,
a little
no,
bit
I don't
because
think
that's
it's
like
okay
Americans
to still
too.
hate on just all Israel or all Jewish people for it. Like you gotta be a
But
little
like,
nuanced.
okay, the same thing with like what Ethan said. Fucking Waleed told me this. A Palestinian. There is a lot of Muslim and Middle Eastern people in Palestine. Like, and they're not Jewish. They're not Jewish at all. So that's why I'm saying, like, this whole, like, yeah, they are the Jewish homeland because, you know, a bunch of white people said it was, right? But that's not, like, actual. It's supposed to be, like, it's just a shittier version of America. That's what Israel is.
That's what Israel is, but that's what they market themselves as.
No, yeah,
and
because
that's what a lot of Israel, or that's what a lot of Jewish people see Israel
The
as.
only people supporting them at that moment were extreme people on the right. So when they say shit like that, that's what they're appealing to, so they can get money from people from them. But now it's like, now you have people on the left who, because of the people on the right, who we hate, supporting Israel over Palestine, they now just assume that Israeli people are just like all the same. I just don't get it. It's just the whole list is like, it's like what you, like, okay, for example, right? If I made a list, like, just every time this is how I think of it because this is what my grandpa said. If you gotta question it, put it in this perspective. Put black people in there. Put black people on that tier list somehow. And how far would that go?
Honestly, that was my first instinct of like, I don't know why, but my first would be like, okay, let's reverse it, but like, there is no good reversing. You know what I mean? Like,
it's hard for this situation because they made it.
Well, they're just talking about the word Habibi, which is already like.
Okay, let's just say the N-word.
Well, see,
But
that's
that's
unfair to compare the two, even if they're trying to do that, because it's fucking stupid. They're dumb for like, even who could say Habibi? It's I love you.
Yeah.
Well, there's no point. This is retarded. There's no point in talking about this.
That's but
that's how I think of
it is brain
even
dead. Like, I agree with that. The thing is I didn't even look at it like that perspective, to be honest with you. It is just brain dead from the core, from the base of it. But my
I'm
dog
having
whistle
such a
is
hard
just going
time
off.
fucking understanding like this just means my love. I don't like. It's just silly. It's silly.
Well, that's what I'm saying is like, what you're saying is so valid that I think that's what they would use as an excuse for the dog whistle. The same way that other people do it. Like, with Nazis and shit.
I just think how I'm thinking about it is the very, like, pure logical way.
Well, no, the very basis of it is brain dead, so, like, all of it is just kind of crumbling around, which I agree. But then again, like, okay, if the basis is brain dead, what would the actual motive be? Because you really think, like, they actually thought this shit was entertaining? You got a bunch of Middle Eastern people up there just talking about how certain people can say Habibi and others. Like, that's because it's not the purpose of it. That's not the purpose. It's a dog whistle.
Already, like, how they're setting up, like, their content, I can't even understand watching someone who, like, of any background, like, you know me, super pro-gay. I love Nolan. But if someone's like, even gay people, you're making your own personality be about gay, there's only so much that I could find entertaining.
Yeah.
So that's where it's like, this is already so far from my understanding. But I hear what you guys are saying. It makes sense.
It's just very close to a dog whistle.
I think you're right. I think it's absolutely fair to say it's like a dog whistle.
You eat Sabra.
Well, I just grew up around a lot of Nazis and racist people.
Gonna buy it.
And they'll say like, oh, well, the N-word just means ignorant. It's like, no, the fuck it doesn't. Like, the fuck do you mean? And they'll have this whole elaborate thing that if you're dumb enough, you'll believe it. You'll believe that word actually means ignorant.
I grew up around amateur racists. You grew up around...
like some actual people who had like the fucking steel cross on their arm. Like actual Nazis. It's fucking insane.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. I got a bunch of these I got this skinhead on my screen right now telling me about how he's not being anti-Semitic. Like, the fuck is going on right now?
And I'm gonna eat it. But
he's not actually a
it is not
skinhead,
the
but he's
good
fucking
shit.
bald.
Like, the average Arab American they're
just
going
want
to
to
go in the
preface that
store
before
and
if
the only option they
he's
have
not gonna
is
say anything to me,
fucking
but other
Sabra.
people are
And
gonna
that-
respond to me,
that
being like,
sucks,
"You got-
but that's the only option, right?
Kill yourself.
Arab communities
Just like he
and
used to say.
distribution facilities are not widespread across the U.S. So what are they left with? They're left with a common, relatable, shitty
Him
hummus,
explaining this
which
still doesn't
is
look good to me.
Sabra. And what's so fucking pathetic about this whole thing is after he was able to get these Arab creators banned off of Twitch for 30 days,
He explained this, but
he
we already
goes
sped
on
we didn't
to
speed run it,
talk
but we
about
just
how
already
bad Sabra
dissected
hummus
every
is
single
on
bit
his
of this.
show.
I don't think anybody wants to prefer Sabra over homemade like restaurant quality hummus. You know, it's what's there.
Like weirdly
there's-
fluffy.
It is
Sabra.
fluffy.
Weird.
Yeah.
I would buy it sometimes and eat it. It's not the best.
The problem is with Sabra, in my opinion, it's only good for the first 2 days.
For some reason, like when you eat this Sabra shit, it just feels so much heavier. And imagine eating a whole fucking vat of Sabra. That's crazy.
I've never liked hummus.
Oh, okay.
Well, you hate Jews then.
I don't. And Arab.
Yeah. Fuck, this is racist.
Yeah, it's almost like you can have a discussion about Sabra hummus being a bad hummus without it being at all related to a Jewish thing or an Israeli thing. He can have that discussion as much as he wants on his podcast because we all know his intentions are anti-Semitic.
This is what he did. He hit his heart hard.
The Zionism is leading to not accepting other cultures, embracing their own culture, and instead
What's the point of
thinking
that Elon
that
quote?
that is
I don't
an
know.
attack on you. There was this incident on the podcast where they were reacting.
He
Why is-
blurred out
I was
Cutie
gonna say, why
Cinderella's
is
face.
This is the second, like, he blurred her out the first time as well. I was confused. I was like, maybe that's how the clip
Dude.
was. But Ethan was getting blurred in the clip as well. Why is she blurred? Isn't
This
the-
bitch has 500,000 subscribers, and you're blurring her face.
Everyone knows who she is.
This bitch literally runs the streamer awards, and you're blurring her face.
This is Ludwig's girlfriend, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And he's blurring her face.
to
Like if she
Cutie
looks
Cinderella, and
Right.
Ethan was laughing
Don't we
during
all?
it. So that ended up being a pretty important wake-up call for
Speak for
Ethan.
yourself, pal.
He made an apology
Okay.
video directed at Cutie Cinderella, and it was graded
Coger puts
by
on some
a
Maybelline.
professional psychologist, Dr. Kirk Honda of
Bro,
Psychology in
what
Seattle.
is going on
And Ethan got an A+ rating.
In terms of a public apology, this is A+.
Ethan won't stop talking about his A+ rating.
You know, he rated my apology to Cutie Cinderella a perfect score, a perfect 10.
A perfect 10 out of 10?
Literally 10 out of 10. Go back. I can teach you
He's
how to
so
make a
funny.
good apology.
Because he's so
I
old.
don't know.
He's so
I
old.
know
No,
what
you
a
can't
perfect
defend him because he's not a good person. We're not defending him. We're defending his take about Israel. That's why this shit's funny because they're
It's
sitting
silly.
here
A lot
ragging
of
on
this
him.
is just straight up silly.
Yeah, they're ragging on him on stupid shit he's done, but his take is a great take.
What did you think about this Cutie Cinderella stuff? Do you
I
remember
thought it was
that?
hilarious. I thought it was fucking hilarious, dude.
See,
she acted like her
reaction is
nudes
just
were
kinda
getting
silly.
leaked. She thought her nudes got
Oh.
leaked, bruh.
Dude.
Dude, it is a robot made a picture that goes, I think your
With her
boobies
face
look
on
like
it.
this. And
Yeah.
then put her face on it. And
And
she's
she's
like,
crying,
well, my
like,
tits are out.
hysterically
Well,
about
now
it.
when she starts crying
Are you
hysterically,
talking about the deep fake shit?
yes. When she starts
Yeah.
crying
I actually did
hysterically,
hear about that.
that makes me think like, oh, your tits actually do look like that. Like, that's what you do look
I
like.
imagine like she got a call from her dad, and he's like, "How dare he?" Like someone got mad at her or something. Like some boomer didn't understand what was going on the internet, and
I
that's
could
why
see
she
that.
got upset.
No, it was just all for the deep fake. It was just weird.
I remember hearing about that one dude that had like a ton of deep fakes of like all these girl streamers. And that's all I really heard about. I didn't really give a fuck. I don't
She
really care
cried
about
like
this.
hella hard about it.
Apology is lady.
I
You
definitely think
fucking
it's a little
don't.
weird.
Good thing
Is
she
my
has the money
perfect
to
apology
screw up
in
the
this
internet.
PowerPoint?
Dude, I got a perfect 10 out of 10.
This one is actually best apology, so.
Ethan Klein, you guys, oh my god.
I was trying really hard to think about
People
an
actually
impactful
clap.
moment during this video. Like, could I do something that would really wake Ethan
Pretty
up?
cringe
And
in a funny way.
I
Like
don't
the
know
way
if
he
this
keeps
came
saying
from
it.
good
It's
place
silly.
or not,
It's
but
silly.
I came up with the idea of getting Ethan's grade changed from an A to a B at least. So I went to visit psychology in Seattle. I'm not confident that Kirk will change his grade, but
Bro, so he doesn't
my
like H3 so
God.
much
Oh my
that he. went there to go, hey, your rating was
whenever I
ass.
get to this level of heavy, please tell me. Please
No,
tell me.
I'll just kill
Look at
you.
me.
I'll just kill you.
Thank
Don't-
you.
Like
No,
I'll just
thank
put you out. Don't worry.
At that point, I need to be taken out.
I told Kendra some shit similar to that the other day, where I was like, if I get to this point, just like actually just take me out.
Just put a bullet in
It's
my head,
worth
please.
trying, and you know, we might learn a thing or two.
Xander! Probably get pretty low marks.
Okay.
He just put in random clips.
Literally just went there to make him look bad. Unironically just went there to make him look bad. What makes me mad about this is when you asked me what he was going to do this on, I accidentally repeated myself twice by saying the right and or Trump, and I meant to say H3 or Trump and the right. But instead I threw those two in as two separate answers. But no, 100%. I didn't predict it, but I had an idea that he could do something against or towards H3, and that's brain dead. Like,
I had thought about it, but I was like, I thought they were on good terms.
they
But
were originally, but since the Hassan drama, his wife H3 or
oh my god.
Yep. So you can imagine how this is going. So Anissa, since she's super left leaning, she's like pro-Palestine, and everyone thinks that he's like super pro-Israel because he's a Jew. Like literally, that's it. Like I just find this whole drama weird because like people are calling H3 like a Zionist.
How many times does he have to say like that it's just
At this point,
like,
I
he's
would
not
just
for
go
anything?
full fucking on edge because like every single time he goes on live.
Do they think he's
He
just
goes-
lying? That he's
well, he
like
goes, I literally was just born in the country. Hila had to serve because she was drafted.
also
think
born
that's
in the
why.
country?
I hate my leader who's committing war crimes, and they're all like, but you're still supporting the war crimes.
Well,
as he
I
openly
think
says
it's
no.
I think it's people with a very baseline understanding. Like, okay, H3 is Jewish. Him and his wife were born in Israel. His wife served, and they don't learn more from there.
Yeah, but is that not
They've already come to.
Well,
a
they're just like
conclusion.
they're supporting the country. But I'm just
Kai,
like
we're
they're
reacting
just
to a video.
citizens. Hello.
So we're gonna be saying boy shit for a while. Just a fair warning. But
Are you sure?
huh?
Are you sure?
Huh?
Are you sure? Brain rot. Brain
Huh?
rot. Man.
Yeah. I
Brain
know.
rot. Are you sure?
Put me in a brain rot trance. Bro, what happened to half my fucking soundboards? I only have The Rock, haha, Do Not Come, and I'm Gonna Come.
Oh no, we did. Oh, show all.
What the fuck? Why did it do this to me?
Are you able to do the Captain Ripper?
What's that? Oh man.
Oh man.
Just saying, oh man, is so fucking funny. Oh man. But what do we leave this? Oh, well, is it not like anti-Semitic to just say like,
Yeah.
oh, he's a Jew, he has to be a Zionist? And to be fair, like
See,
Ethan
that
taught me
I
too,
would
is
say.
that Zionism.
I would
isn't-
say yes.
But Zionism isn't just supporting. Actually, hold up. While we're in here, hold up. I'll do this.
Zionism is just the Zionism is the equivalent to evangelicalism for Jewish people.
Well, that's what they're saying. But when I was growing up, I met Eva Kor, and I was starting to read up on her because of all the drama going on with Israel. Because she's dead now, so I can't like. I want to go over there and ask her how she feels about Trump and all that, but she's fucking dead. Died in 2020. But the reason why I'm bringing her up is because I think she actually said she was a Zionist before all of this came. Like, when I met her, I was like 14. You know what I mean? So, like, I don't even know if Israel was still doing the genocide or whatever. But she wasn't, like, talking about
it's
that.
hard to put it.
She was just talking about
From
the
what-
existence of Israel itself. That's all she wanted. You know what I mean?
That's what I think. For a while, that's what people said. That's what Zionism is. Like, oh, Israel has the right to live.
Yeah, that's what she
That's
always
what
said it was.
Zionists will call Zionism. But like, that's where okay.
Well, that's why I thought they were like.
Mhm.
Well, Ethan just has an underlying agenda, and I'm just like,
I don't think
don't
he
you
does,
too?
yeah.
Like, don't
Yeah,
all the
exactly.
pro-Palestine people do? Like, it's just whatever. I don't know.
Well, because like it's just getting to a point where Papa Gut also kind of, if that's like a dog whistle, then Papa Gut's kind of falling for it too. But I look at it as just like a lot of people who just want Israel to exist.
They're both crazy.
Well, it's not that. It's really
Well,
just
the
cringe
government.
because it's just cringe because there's people that need a place to stay. Like we're I'm just like, as a person,
At this
when it
point,
comes to politics,
they've been
I think-
born there, and
I
they're
think that's
they're
why
just
a
there.
lot of people are very pro a two-state solution, where it's like, okay, at this point
Ethan
we
Klein
can't.
is. That's okay. Thank you for
Yeah.
saying that. He even openly says he's always
I
big
never-
on two-state.
Yeah, I didn't know
It's
the-
impossible to deport all these people because they were born here
Born
now.
there,
They
exactly.
like they're
They're just normal people, like middle
They're-
class.
and
They don't have the means to just move, right? Like,
Well, that's everybody. That's just the world.
that's why
Yeah.
like a lot of pro-Palestine people are over Israel because like they'll the Palestinian people will come forth. Okay, two-state solution. Okay, let's ceasefire. Okay, let's take a few days to chill, and when Israel will drop a bomb on an encampment, and when you'll see people like, okay, I'm Zionist, I believe they have the right to exist, and there are some people like far,
Right,
extremists.
or
They'll say they don't
whatever.
believe it,
Yeah, they don't-
blah blah
or
blah.
anti-Semitic.
But then it's like, okay, I want a ceasefire, but Israel is still bombing innocent people.
Well, that's the thing.
But
too,
me
is,
and
like,
you are disagreeing on this and that.
the
It's
more
it's
we look it
harder.
up, too,
well, what if
is,
they
like-
both?
What are you saying?
Mhm.
Go ahead.
Well, I just
Go
want to
ahead.
say, like, they with Papa Gut, because this is why I keep liking him, is which encourages me to do it. I was insecure to always look shit up on live. I was just like, I'll have to look it up before or after. But I start looking into it, and it's like, it really is just war. Because I find parts of, like, Palestine also, or I would rather like to say Hamas, because it's not Palestine, it's Hamas.
Yeah.
But I see cases of Hamas, like, doing equally as fucked up shit, but then I'm sitting here like, okay, but Israel obviously has more money and power to just fucking flatline an entire country. So, like Papa Gut says, we have to hold Israel to a higher standard because they're West.
Mhm.
Like, they're from the West. So the West, and that's what I say too. And it sounds kind of weird, but like, I mean, fuck it, I don't care to say it. Like, I agree. We have to hold the West to a higher standard because we have higher right value, like the rights. Yeah, I mean.
Well, a lot of people in the West haven't like had any developmental stopping. Like, since the 17th century or the 18th century, the United States hasn't had any like foreign power come in and stop us. Hasn't like fucking broke our legs growing wise. Like, we've just been allowed to grow as much as we
We've
can.
just low-key been
But like,
lucky. That's just luck.
oh yeah. It's been luck, and it's been a lot of colonialism where, okay, there's these native people above us, the Inuits. Bam!
we'll just take 'em.
You got Canada.
Yeah, we
fuck
just
them.
outnumbered them.
Well, the
You
thing
got
is, like, think
the
about this,
Native
too.
Americans here.
The
Bam!
reason-
Fuck your culture.
The
you
reason why
know?
I'm bringing that up, and I'm not gonna defend, because I'll just say this at the start. Obviously, that shit's fucked up, but that was very normal back then to do that.
Oh, 100%.
And-
Everyone. I don't want to say everyone did it, but all European descended people
But
have
that's
done
not
that.
my main argument. Like, it's fucked up, but everybody
Mhm.
did it. My main argument for that is, like, the luck part I'm talking about is we went against Great Britain. Like, basically the strongest country in the world at that time as some farmers, and we somehow won. I think we won because of the main reason I was talking to my grandpa about this. It wasn't like, it was luck, but the second thing was we could kill like 500 men, and it's now going to take like a month and a half for the other 700
Yeah.
men to come by.
It also helped that France was helping us a lot, and that
Yeah,
a lot of
you
the
see what I'm saying?
founding
Like,
fathers
exactly
were
like that, like France and,
extremely
like-
rich, so they could afford like sell swords. They could afford an
Well,
army.
that was the problem, is like, we did have money, but that was the scary part, is we just dipped off from our biggest ally. Like, France did give us stuff, but it's like, again, like, look at us.
We
like,
had the
we were,
resources outweighed
we were
all
like
of that.
Ukraine at that time. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, we were low-key Ukraine separating from Britain, and France was like, yeah, here's some money and some extra stuff. Like we had it, right? But we still weren't like top dog. Yeah, I mean, we had money, but we were still like, again, it just reminds me of Ukraine, where Ukraine
We're
like,
still growing.
has money, but we had to send them guns and stuff because
Still
they don't
an
have the
underdog.
They don't have the
Yeah.
infrastructure. That's what it is. Because like, you can send them money and shit, but like what Zelensky said, he's like, bro, give me fucking tanks, bro. I don't have tanks or anything. You can stop giving me money. Like, I don't have the shit to be shooting them with.
Regardless of the support, you're still an underdog.
Yeah, and so it's like, but like any other country do some shit like that where they're like being enslaved by Britain, they lose. They lost every time. That's why they stayed enslaved, you know? But, that's what I'm saying, like, America's just lucky at that point. And that's why, again, going all the way back to the Israel thing, is like we should hold ourselves and Israel to a higher standard when it comes to what they do to Palestinians.
I don't even think it's because they're from the West. I think it's because they're the occupying power. So of the two, they have the more power. So in the power dynamic.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. But that's the
so
thing,
I
is,
don't.
like,
I
they
just
have
think in
Western
general.
values.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. That's another reason too. I do think it's like a myriad.
If you look at it with Eastern values of like Russia or like, you know, old China or old Japan or old Mongolia, like anywhere in East, like, you know, like old anywhere, most of them ran it with an iron fist, and then most of the people from the East left to the West, like even including like Mexico and Canada and all of them, you know, they left all of those areas because they ruled it with an iron fist, and they're like, we just all kind of became a bunch of hippies over here, and we're like, let's not do what they're doing. And all three of the countries, like Canada and Mexico and the United States, agreed, like, yeah, we'll just kind of do our own thing. Because that, like, America's
the freedom. The freedom was appealing.
Exactly. Yeah, and Canada's French, and then Mexico's Spanish. Yeah, I mean, like, we're just leaving. It's all it was.
It's, I think, with Canada and Mexico, they definitely, after they got a strong foothold, they stopped seeking out more territory. The United States, since like since the 1850s, we've always been seeking out more territory, more power, more.
Compared to Spain and France, like Spain and France, like they had power, but they weren't like at certain points way back then they were expanding, but they weren't known for expanding like the British were. And again, where did we break off from?
I think the British were so strong partially because of their naval. Like, they had one of the best navies in the world, and at that point, that's all we were doing was naval combat. That's, like, the only reason they were so, like, prevalent over these other countries.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. The fact that we'd kill, like, 1,200 men or whatever, and they'd have to bring that naval.
Yeah.
The fact that it took so long that their naval.
The pros and cons of that type of combat.
Yeah. And that's mostly what I was saying with all the Israel stuff, because like, again, like Papa Gut says, I'm stealing his talking point. I agree with the Western values a lot of, like, freedom, fucking blah, 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 right? And if we're gonna do that, we need to hold other countries who we help, like our allies, to a higher standard of, like, yeah, Japan doesn't have the same culture as us, but Japan can't be doing World War II era fuckery that they did. You know what I mean? Like, we are not letting them do that shit again.
Well, I think even if you don't have the same values, with the UN, there's certain, like, levels of, okay, this is the baseline. This is what, no matter what your values are, this is not okay. And those are your human rights, your...
Yeah, that's human rights.
Yeah, the Geneva Convention, whatever it's called, like, what's not okay in war, what's blah, blah, blah. And when that's where, like, you have, Israel, which is one of the countries in a long time, killing some of the most UN workers, killing some of the most journalists, like... being a journalist in Palestine and Israel is, I think that's where you're the most,
It's like up there.
yeah, where you will probably just get murdered. Like, if you're working UN, like, humanitarian aid, not a soldier, you will probably just get killed.
Yeah, like, I'll never say that they're not committing war crimes, but I think the problem is that, like, they both are, and the left don't talk about Hamas doing their war crimes, and the right don't talk about Israel doing their war crimes. Yeah, I mean, because this one, like,
I just assume they are.
Yeah.
My issue is like why they're doing it, because it's literally just like
it's just religion.
Yes, and bloodline and stuff like that. Like,
I think
I don't get that crap.
For Hamas, because it's not even like Palestine, because it's in the east, it probably does have a majority Islam, but it also does have like Orthodox Jewish people as Christians. So I think a lot of like the Hamas war crimes is more of a pushback where it's like, okay, we're gonna have to fight for ourselves, blah blah blah. But I think where Israel's coming from it is, this is our promised land.
Right.
This all is ours by
Hamas
birthright.
Is an extremist, and I'm not saying this in that like they're horrible people, right? I'm just saying like they're an extremist Muslim group. You know what I mean?
I think they just both think it's owed.
Yeah, they're both.
Like both sides think it's owed to them.
They're both sitting there like, oh, this
and
is
I'm
our
wondering,
land, just like the Christians did however long ago.
I'm wondering if like, if the UN were up and like, okay, well we just move all the Israelis out, who's gonna pay for it?
Yeah.
Like, what would happen? Like, what do they expect? Like, oh, no one can pay for it. Will we just squash it? I don't know.
I think if the UN ever did like step in like that, it would be a two-state solution, where okay, Israel, I'm sorry you can't like, you're losing this amount of land, and you're losing this amount of like control over Palestine, but you still like are your own country. You are. This is all your land. That's my
Why don't
assumption.
they just do it? Because they're not gonna say like.
Because if they did,
they're not
going
gonna
to
change their
it would be a war with the
belief.
United States. The United States wouldn't be okay with that. Especially with Trump in power right now, that would be a full-on war, like a world war. Like Trump is, I don't know if you guys have been seeing it, but he's been like deporting people that have been anti-Israel. He's been kicking university students out of university that have been anti-Israel. It's been harder for people to get jobs if they're anti-Israel because a lot of AI is like automatically putting them on like flag lists. That's what my thought process is, where it's like,
I don't know.
Okay, if I'm anti-Palestine, like nothing bad's gonna happen to me.
I just look at it as both, because like.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
We
if I'm anti-Israel, if I'm like systematically gonna get in trouble, but if I'm anti-Palestine, if I'm just chilling and I'm fine, in my brain, like, okay, one of them is the victim, one of them is the oppressor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, okay. I just can't look at it that way because before, and when I say we, I mean Christians. I don't mean like us, Coger. Like I just mean like white people or whatever. We were over there killing both of them, Jewish and Muslim people, for Jesus. You know. So when we leave, I'm not surprised when one side or the other is saying like. That's why I know Hamas is doing it for a religious reason, because they're singing that old religious song saying like from land to sea, saying like we own this land because of our God. Well, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying like that's, well, it is a bad thing on both ends, because they're both sitting here like, well, this is my land. No, this is my land. And then Israel got the power of
That's
America,
where our like
and now
separation of church and
rolling
state kind of.
Well,
yeah,
so
exactly.
Israel has always had like the backing of the United States government and the British government, because the British put them there. Palestine was owned by Britain, and then Israel was plopped right there and given all the power and the means to colonize them. Oh, it was, of course, it was after World War II. No one wanted to take them. Like, no one wanted to take the Jewish people. So like, okay,
I don't know why
let's
we wouldn't have just taken them. Just be like, fuck it, more job workers.
Lord knows. But, yeah. And I think, at least from what I know, that phrase is more so used as, like, against an anti-Israel occupying force type of way, where, okay,
I know
before
what they're
World War
using
II,
it for.
this was my land, and
Yeah,
blah, blah, blah.
I know what they're using it for, but if you, like, it's like, for example, right, like, let's say, this isn't real at all, but let's just say there was a chant that the Nazis did for freedom, but it was made by the Nazis, and then, like, I don't know, maybe 200 to 300 years later, the Germans get oppressed by Britain, and they start chanting it. To me, I'm still like, that's a Nazi dog whistle. I don't care if it's, like, for actual freedom or not, like, that's made from Nazis, blah, blah, blah. And that song was made for all three religions, like Christianity, Judaism, and Muslims, to tell them, like, hey, I will kill your entire race and own this land, because this is my land from land to sea. You know what I mean? Like, it's from all three of, like, even Jewish people will sing that song, being like, I will kill all Muslims, I will kill all Christians to get off my land. You know what I mean? It's just some weird, like, that's what I
actually didn't know it originated from that far.
It's an old thing coming from, like, all three of our, like, when I say our, you know what I mean, like, our religion saying, like, we all three hate each other. It's always been that way. Like,
yeah.
That's why, like, I'm not saying,
Just,
like,
all three Abrahamic religions.
Exactly. And I'm never saying, like, to be honest with you, if you want my actual opinion, I genuinely think Israel's obviously the worst in this situation, but, like, how my grandpa raised me, I just have to say war is war, and obviously both are committing horrible things, but obviously Israel's the worst, because they have more power and they have more money, like, backing. But I just want always, like, my ideas to be emphasized that, like, I always pray for the Palestinian people, but, like, when it comes to Hamas, they're fighting for God, and so are the Israel's people. They're just acting like it's for some terroristic shit. Like, that's why I always get heated about it, because me and you aren't religious, and this is, like, from what I see, just, like, two people going, well, my flying spaghetti monster exists more than your flying spaghetti monster, so I shall kill you. And I'm like, okay. Like, you're right about most of the war crimes. Like, but what I'll see, too, is I'll also see, like...
Hamas is definitely not innocent in it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, Israel's done more.
That's where opinions will differ, because I don't really see Hamas mainly as a religious organization. I see it as a...
I don't look at it like that either.
I see it as like
Do they paint themselves that way? Like...
It's been weird because of how, like, I don't want to sound like schizo, but with how, like, the media is
they portray it
owned by people, like, that is how the media is portraying it, but it's hard to, like...
actually tell if they are being that way or not.
Yeah, because you'll get, like, you know, on Twitter, you'll get, like, a whole bunch of propaganda, and I'm from both sides, because that's, like, where all the money's from the United States, so, like, it's in their best interest to pander to both sides to pander to us. Because whatever we decide, like, we've decided Israel's in the right, or at least, like, the government has for so long. And that's why Israel's winning. The moment the government changes their mind, Palestine's gonna start winning.
Yeah.
And they never will. Because that's, like, superstitious.
Well, it's just because, like I said, like, every other country in the world besides the United States thinks that they are committing a war crime. And they basically are, in my eyes. But the thing is like, it's not that Hamas is doing it for religion. It's that this battle started because of religion. Like, they hate each other. Like, this battle started, like 8,000 years ago.
It's not just religion. It's, like, how they view each other. Like, it's, like, a bloodline thing, too. It's not, like...
Like, they're like...
race, or whatever you want to call it.
They're racist, but it's, like, in their... Like, you know how, like, we jokingly say, like... okay, the moment we bring up a British person in the server, what happens? You know what I mean? Like, in America, the joke is that we hate British people, right? But, like, it's not a joke over there. Like, they are born, and, like, a lot of them are, like, what is it? Brainwashed into believing these extreme ideas. You know what I mean?
That's where, like, the videos of the Israeli kids are, like, we are going to kill them all.
Just be very open-minded. Be very open-minded with me.
Yeah.
Do you really
I don't
think
blame
that...
the kids.
No, I'm saying, do you think the Palestinian kids are different?
No, but that's
literally,
at the same
like,
time...
oppressed like that? Like, I would...
I think
you know what I mean?
That's where, like, how the Asian countries are still racist to Japanese people.
Of course,
we don't blame them, because, like, they did crazy shit.
Well, that's what I'm saying, like, this is what I'll say in a better term, which you might understand, when I say it's about religion. This current conflict that we're watching isn't about religion. It's about Israel killing a bunch of them. But the beef started. The beef started with religion.
This isn't, like, historically, it's not Palestine and Israel. It's the Abrahamic
Muslim
religion.
and
But
Judaism.
But there's still people that think that today, though. Like, in this conflict. That's the underlying agenda, I think.
I
think that's what they think Ethan is doing.
They're just saying that, like, oh, Israel is, like, committing a genocide because they want this land. No, they're committing a genocide because of, like... Okay, this is a perfect example, Coger. In Total War, remember when I told you the dwarves have a book of grudges? The Abrahamic religions have a book of grudges. All three of them. They all three have these old fucking grandfatheristic fucks that just sit there and they're like... Well, this Jewish man robbed me on 700 BC. Fuck him. It's like, bro.
Well, I think naturally there's going to be a lot of, like, when you have three, like, of the main religions of the world all come from the same, like, source material.
Yeah.
But they all come to different conclusions, even if they're, like, the slightest differences, it's bound to be pandemonium.
Yeah. I just, I always feel bad for the Palestinians right now because of, like, this is, like, me sounding fucked up, but it's just kind of, like, how when I say, like, my God view is, like, when you look at it from, like, a God perspective or try to, like, right now it's just, Palestine's unlucky. Like, they didn't have the money. They didn't have, like, the supporters like Israel does. Just like you were talking about earlier with America, you know?
Britain owned Palestine, and when Britain was like, you know what, fuck y'all. Fuck my colony, here, Israel, you could just have them.
Yeah.
So it's like, they were double fucked. Like, they didn't even have their freedom when it happened.
They never really had their freedom, essentially.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying, like, when I see these children also, like, in, like, Hamas group being extreme, I'm not saying anything. Because I'm not surprised. They're oppressed. Like, when I was looking at shit, like, I guess this is a better example, too. Like, America with Vietnam, right? Like, you know how much I love my grandpa. But I'm not sitting there, like, oh, those Vietnamese deserved it. No, like, I actually felt horrible. Like, I don't want to go anywhere near Vietnam. Because I think that the shit that my grandpa did over there will literally kill me. Like, the fucking spiritual pressure over there would just consume me.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And so, with that, like, when my grandpa told me that these 16, 15-year-old kids would get hopped up on coke, run over a hill, and start shooting at them with an AK, do you really think I was that surprised? And, like, or do you really think I was sitting there like, oh, the NVA were horrible. They were brainwashing children. No, this child was extremely fucking poor, extremely hungry. The only person who gave him hope was a dude who grabbed an AK, put it in his chest, and was like, hey, go kill GI over there, and you can go eat tomorrow. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, glad to do it. You know what I mean? So that's how I look at it, I guess. Like, Israel is just shitting on Palestine. They're in their, like, if I'm just being honest, they're in their third world country era where, like, they're being oppressed so bad that they're gonna start, like, being terrorists, and they're gonna shit on the oppressor because they're being oppressed. You know what I mean? Like, that's just how it is.
This is, I'm pro-Palestine, but they will never win.
No, they're
it's
not. Well, that's
unfortunate,
just,
and that's why
that's
I'm
just how
pro-Palestine.
it is. That's how it is.
Yeah. America is the #1 military country in the world. Like, I was talking to,
Trump keeps fucking us, and it'll be China. Keep fucking us like this, and it'll be China real quick. We'll watch that shit.
I don't think we'll ever lose our military advantage, but we'll definitely lose our economic advantage.
Which is but that's the scary part.
Which is
like,
arguably worse. Yeah.
It's like, that's what helps our military, the strongest part.
And because of, like, I think we talked about it, how, like, so much of our economy is military based, like, low-key, this is, like, Israel fucking over Palestine in the Middle East is low-key helping us. Like, the oil that we're getting,
every war that we have, any fight, we get money out of it. Any fight. It doesn't matter if it's, like, literally
I think
just
the only one
skirmish.
that we're probably on a negative is Ukraine.
Yep.
Because all we're doing is stopping Russia.
Do you know
we're
why?
not, like,
That's
expanding
the funny
at
part.
all.
Do you know why we are? It's literally because that's
Russia.
the good side.
Oh,
that's
yeah,
the
I get what
good
you
side
mean.
to
Yeah.
fight. Like, whenever the United States is putting money into something, and we're
This is
losing
one of the
money
few
in the
times
war.
that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Well, like, that's what. Okay, this is why
It's
I get
not.
confused
We're not
on the
doing
United
it out
States
of
because
greed or colonialism type thing. We're doing it to stop
Russia.
another
We hate Russia.
power.
We hate
Russia. Like, ironically, we're stopping another colonial power from taking over more. Yeah.
I think the fucked up thing is, and I think this is like the overall plan, and I'm saying this, I'm not suicidal, all right? I'm not suicidal. I think the plan
If I get shot
is
3 times in the back of the head, it was not me.
if I got shot specifically 3 times in the back of the head, actually I don't even want to make that joke because they'll use that in court. I was gonna say it was me.
Yeah.
So like, I genuinely think all the fucked up stuff we do is in the eyes of America, because I don't look at it this way, in the eyes of America is a quote-unquote necessary evil for... Now, let me explain all this, because this sounds crazy. For world domination, but not in, like, America owns everything. But since we're the strongest, we would basically own everything. What we would do is, like, we would take over Russia and China.
Where we're the strongest instead of owning everything. I get what you mean.
But the weird thing is like, what you're saying, like, we're doing horrible things in Palestine, right? But then if you go look at Ukraine, we're actually doing really good by, like, saving Ukraine from not getting taken over. So I'm always sitting here, like, wondering, like, is the necessary evil the part where... And it's not necessary, right? Because we're just... That's what they think. Like, they think that the necessary evil is, like, we have to kill the Muslims in Palestine because they're weak. Like, they don't have a lot of money comparative to Israel. So if we just hurry up and wipe them off the map, we can focus on Russia and, like, dominate them, go to China, dominate them, and then everyone else will just be an ally. Literally, at that point, everyone else would just be an ally.
I think at this point, we're more close to allies with China than we are enemies. We're pretty neutral. I'll change.
Well, that's the problem with Trump. We're now not. Now we're not.
Oh, yeah.
With Trump,
I'm more so thinking, like, Biden administration.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
We're neutral with China
We
at
were
this
chill
point.
with
Like,
them because we
we're
made a
still
bunch of
pretty
money
good
together.
trade partners. We're not like military allies though. But with like Russia, we're not partners at all. North Korea, we're not partners at all. Like, that is an enemy.
I don't even worry about
But-
North I keep forgetting about North Korea.
I don't give a fuck about North
they're
Korea
so
either.
small, bro. He's so
But it's gonna be one of those
The
things where
problem.
in another, well, like, if a world war happens, North Korea is backing Russia with like what
100%.
little
But what's
they
so
have.
funny? But what's so funny is like
They
we're
don't have
rolling
anything.
Exactly.
Even
Well,
if they
like,
did, it's like
Japan didn't have fuck all either for the longest time,
Had a
but they still
strong-ass
went
military.
insane. They had a very,
Just a strict
compelled
military.
military. Exactly.
Well, the thing
Their
is,
entire military was willing to die, and North Korea is very cultish like that.
Yeah, that's how it is.
Where I wouldn't say it reminds me of old Japan, but it's definitely not far from it.
They're either falling for the cult or they're
It's
just
impossible to get
threatening
out.
their family.
Yeah.
So they have to
oh
do
my
it.
god, they give you a car in World of Warcraft. Like it actually
Whoa.
works like a car. Holy shit, and it's fast as fuck. It's got a horn.
Oh my god, it is fast. What the hell?
It's crazy. With this, with Japan and stuff, like, for me, the war is different because I'm, like, sitting here thinking of, what the fuck, how do I stop this thing? Okay. With Japan, it's just, like, a size thing. We have bombs now that could actually eradicate North Korea off the map. Like, that's how small North Korea is on the map. That's what I'm talking about. Like, back then in World War II, we didn't have bombs like that. We weren't, like...
Yeah.
Sitting there, just like we didn't have bombs like that. That's the best thing I guess I could say. It's just
I don't think that we'll ever get to that point though until either the United States is about to fall or until Russia's about to fall, and it's gonna be like, okay, we're about to fall. All of our nukes are up.
I don't even think they will do that because like what me and Fig talked about, like you'll rule nothing. Like they're not gonna go on a suicide thing. Like they just.
It's not. I don't think it's like that anymore. I think it's more precise attack. Like, if like a world war happened and North Korea is involved, like they would just laser it off. Like,
Yeah,
like,
dude, I'm not
they have
surprised.
something like.
I'm not surprised if they were like, "Hey, we're in war with Russia," and then 2 days later they were like, "Hey, Putin got assassinated by like 9 assassins already in Russia."
Yeah, like they're already
there. You know what I mean? Like that's why Russia's tweaking because we're quote unquote so close.
But
to
even
their
their nuclear like the weapons are really.
Yeah, and I was saying
from
that,
what I
like,
know with like
our nukes don't even have
Preston's
nuclear fallout
work-
anymore.
Yeah. The what I know about our defense, which I won't repeat on here because it's kind of crazy. Like
Fig is also not suicidal.
It's just like.
Well, Fig. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, never mind.
Yeah.
Fig would not commit suicide.
Yes, Fig would not commit
Yeah.
suicide.
That's the important distinguish.
No, I won't. It's like sci-fi stuff we have going on. Like you wouldn't even understand.
And
like,
you want me to make you feel bad, Fig? Because this is what my grandpa said. I was talking about this. This is how he gaslights me. This is how my grandpa gaslights me. He looks at me and smirks and goes, "Or is that what they want you to think?" I was sitting there like, "Stop! You're pissing me off, bro."
What about the?
Yeah, like I was telling you. I was
It's
telling you
not
about
about
where Preston works. I forgot where he did work at that.
Well,
one
he's
point.
seen it.
Yeah.
He's seen it though, so it's like
And
it's real.
That's what my grandpa. No, we know it's real, but that's what like my grandpa fucks with me because that's where like everything. I always asked him like, why is everything so secretive? And he's like, Jake, it's not. It's right in fucking front of you. That's why when I bring up shit to him and it's like not, it's like super out of the ordinary. He'll always go, no, that's not real, but we can do this, which sounds crazy when he explains it to me. But then I'm like, oh, okay. But like all the crazy sci-fi shit we hear is like a little extra over the edge, so everyone's scared of us. Cause it's funny, cause like with the
Well, it's like
the black
if
jet
I
we
say
had, they thought we were literally
something
flying
sci-fi,
aliens in.
Right.
They thought we were like in Vietnam. They actually thought we were flying aliens, and it's like, no, we just have a fucking plane that can touch Jesus in 2 seconds and come back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why I always sit there like, I just look at history, and I'll go, like with Israel and Palestine, they've been fighting forever. So I'm not gonna look at it as like one side's or not. One side right now is worse than the other, but one side started it. Is what I'm saying. I don't look at it like that. And then like with all of our technology and stuff, I'm just sitting here like, America's like convinced us that they're gonna be like sneaky if they try to kill American people, and then we see the ATF mow down all those people in fucking Texas. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm sitting here like when they say they have these lasers, and people are like, oh, it's a secret. No, the fuck it's not. You see it all the time. Like, all the time. And then they're like...
Because they have Joe Schmo working on it.
Yeah.
Like Preston.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, It's there. It's right
It's
there.
right there.
Everyone sees it. It's not hidden. But then you have people online saying, oh, well, the Jews own weather lasers that fucking start hurricanes in the ocean. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? What are you actually shitting on my mouth right now?
Which there's probably... There's always, like, some truth to it, though. But they're just, like, making it crazy.
Yeah, there's probably
and the
a
person
laser
that made
that,
it's
like,
yes,
there's
yes,
probably
that's
a
what I
laser
wanted.
that looks at, like, the fucking weather and lets you know that there are tornadoes and shit coming. But, yeah, like what you said, they're taking it as, like, oh, the Jews own a laser in the sky that
They're
makes
controlling
weather.
the weather.
They're controlling the weather. Exactly, yeah.
They're controlling the weather.
That's why, like, it doesn't matter.
And making us gay.
It doesn't
You know
matter
what's
what
crazy?
we
Some
learn.
people actually believe that.
No, I know. Dude, no.
People believe that, and they're like, why do you think the red states have such bad tornadoes?
Me
Because
and
the left
Fig-
is controlling the weather.
Me and Fig live in these red
They
states.
do cloud seed.
Yeah.
That's real.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
literally, I went to the covered bridge, and there was a dude trying to convince me of that. That's why I brought it up. There was a dude literally talking to me about it, trying to convince me about it.
I've been reading about, like, because I was curious where Palestine's name came from. It was given to them by the Greek and Roman. Fun fact. It's a different...
That's where they've all come from.
Well, it's a
Yeah.
different... Well, so it wasn't like the native people were the Greek and Roman. It's like the Greek and Roman occupied a small area, and then they were calling it that, and that's what stuck. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
Sorry to cut us, like, to...
Are all those people, I'm gonna sound ignorant. Are all of them Jewish? Like, from origin? Like, all of them? Israel and Palestine?
No. There's
like, in the beginning, like what you're saying, like, the Roman era.
That's the problem, is that, like, Jesus was a Muslim Jew.
He was... Yeah.
No, he was...
He was Jewish.
He's Jewish.
I'm pretty sure
the
Muslim...
race.
Well, not... Yeah,
or
but I'm saying, like... But
Islam is the youngest of the three, right?
Yes.
That's what I'm pretty sure. So yeah, Jesus was just an Orthodox Jew, because at that point, like, obviously Christianity has to come after Jesus dies.
Okay, technically, yeah, okay.
And then Islam has to come also after Jesus dies, because their main part of that is another prophet after Jesus is the main prophet. I think. Pretty sure. I think Muhammad is...
In Islam, they don't think that the Messiah has come. They don't believe in Jesus.
Yeah,
like, they don't think he existed. Or they think he existed, but they don't think he was
Yeah,
who he was.
he doesn't think he was the son of God.
Actually.
So they're still awaiting
they see
the
him more
Messiah.
as a prophet than as the son of God. Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
It's low-key how I look at it, but...
So are the Jewish.
Yeah.
They just believe in the New Testament. But Islam is the Quran, which is written by whoever. I don't remember. Newer guy. Some new guy.
One of those new guys.
Muhammad or some
Some
shit.
new guy.
Muhammad something.
And Joseph Smith. Him and Joseph Smith.
Trying to say here.
Put them in the same boat.
This is a good little starter for, or an ender for